All right, so I just started the recording. Um,
Alrighty.
okay.
So we got the first kingdom up.
Yeah. Um,
This looks fast.
yes. I'd say remake looks good. Cavalry looks good. Um, yeah. I mean, it would probably be a bit stronger if there were better fives to remake into, but
That's
yeah.
true. That being said, ports can run very fast, cavalries can run very fast, and remakes can run very fast. Especially given that you can remake horses into more cavalries or remakes.
Yeah,
Uh,
that definitely looks like a very relevant interaction.
and maybe envoys worth picking up at some point because it's a pretty good draw.
Yeah, once you have a few ports in the deck, envoys do start to look good.
And then at some point you gain a bunch of capitals, and then end the game in a turn. I could see that happening as early as like turn 9 with some good draws, maybe faster.
Turn 9 sounds pretty fast. I would think maybe like 11 or so would be my guess, but we'll see how it works out. Oh, so what do you want to open here?
Hmm. Remake Scheme is the first thing that comes to mind.
Okay.
Remake Sage also is a possibility.
Yeah, I was thinking about Sage. Definitely is a
I
nice board for remake.
think it's one of those two. Both of those help with lining up Remake. Scheme's got the high roll of playing Remake twice in a shuffle. Sage is, I guess, the safer bet because if you find Sage, you're guaranteed to find Remake.
Yeah, I mean, you could still high roll with Sage. If, like see remake turn 3 and then see the Sage turn 4, play remake again.
Good point.
Um, so yeah, it looks like Pop goes for the Sage.
Vassal.
Titandrake goes for Vassal, huh?
I'm
Yeah,
not as much a fan of Vassal.
yeah, it does seem a little strange. This is a nice draw for Pop.
Vassal feels like something I would take if I were really concerned with hitting 5, which I don't think I am here.
Yeah, even that Vassal I don't particularly like. I'm gonna go ports there. You could have gone. Oh, this is a disaster for Titandrake.
That is, yeah, that's not a good hand.
Like, yeah, it's not even just like if you had the sombrero in the reverse order, you could have at least taken a cavalry. But this is just really bad. I wonder if Titandrake was supposed
Well,
to
no,
take.
you shouldn't take the cavalry, right? You draw a hand. I guess you could remake the vassal, and you get to trash one junk card. Probably
Oh,
better than nothing.
I was referring to the case where, like, I was saying if you sombreroed and had like 3/4, then it's
Right.
not as disastrous.
So supposing it's turn 4 and you buy the cavalry, now your hand is remake vassal estate.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So you
Still
get to
pretty
trash
bad.
one estate. Yeah. It's not great. I think it would be better than what happened, but yeah. So Pop takes second vassal and Oasis. Um, yeah, I still don't really like the vassals just because you don't really have the terminal space for them, and you don't need to hit 5. So
I'm in agreement on that. You know, I don't think we ever actually formally said. Just to clarify, this is the what is this? The round of
round.
16 for
Yeah.
the 2020 championships. Winner of this advances to the quarterfinals. Oh wait, no, these. Oh shoot, are these? Yeah, is that right?
Yeah. That's correct.
Okay, that's correct. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. Titandrake is 38th seed, and Pop is 11th seed.
There's a another match between I think Marcus and Auto PP that's going on at the same time, and the winner of this is going to face the winner of that match.
All right, so I guess Pop is considering whether to play this remake. I'm not sure what's left on
Yeah.
their deck. The answer might just be not to play it. You could also buy a cavalry
Well,
and then consider remaking after that.
yeah, I mean, the alternative would be buying cavalry for me. I don't think like just buying a 4 is very good. I mean, I think
Do you know what the deck?
Pop has what, like two vassals Oasis down there?
And a sage.
Two vassals Oasis Sage? Yeah, so given that, do you buy cavalry?
So if you draw one of the vassals, you can safely play it. Um, Relatively safely play it, I guess.
Yeah, you're gonna hit an on terminal for
You can
sure.
buy cavalry and then buy ports. That sounds plausible to me.
Yeah, the
Might be better
ports
than
definitely look nice at this stage of the game.
yeah.
So looks like Hop is going for the cavalry line.
I mean, if you buy cavalry here, I believe you're 100% guaranteed to be able to afford ports. And I would assume a free cavalry in your deck is better than nothing.
Yeah, I agree with that. Um, is that actually guaranteed? Because like, I guess the bad case would be that you like vassal, like you vassal here, and then
I don't see a world where you can. So you have 4 cards there: the 2 vassals, the Oasis, and the Sage. Which
uh-huh.
2 on top could possibly cause you to fail to play both vassals?
Yeah, it's not really. It's not the fail case. Wouldn't really be you don't hit 4. The fail case would be like you just don't get to play the cavalry.
Oh, I see. Is there a line to it in which that happens? I'm still not
Um.
sure.
Well, you do have the Oasis, so you can always. Yeah, I think. Yeah, I don't think there actually is such a fail case because you can always just discard something with Oasis and then like hit it with Vassal.
Here, I assume you just play the cavalry. That seems like a clear choice.
Yeah, play Cavalry by ports makes a lot of sense to me.
Titandrake still has 2 estates and 6 coppers.
Um,
That's 7 coppers.
7, I think.
Wow, that's a lot. That's a whole
Yeah.
lot. Um,
Yeah, so I've got to imagine Pop is very significantly ahead.
yeah, I was just about to say, oh, Titandrake's already got like a 4-0 lead on the ports. They must have a lead, and then I took a look at the trash.
Yeah, that's
Uh,
kind of the only thing Titandrake has going for them. I'm not really sure what this
Cool.
line accomplished. Like, you turned an Oasis into a capital, and yeah, this just seems worse than taking 2 horses, because now you have all this debt.
And look at the thing. They have a not insubstantial likelihood of dudding here, because they have 4 coppers left on their deck.
Yeah,
So they've got a 44% chance of hitting one of those with their vassal.
yeah, that's not
Plus the
great.
remake would also kind of suck. So like over half likelihood of failing.
Yeah. Um,
Yeah, I think the capital is getting too fancy.
I mean, Capital in general is just, like, not a good card. So,
Capital here looks like it'll be great on the final turn, and prior to that, not worth getting.
yeah, it sounds right. It is kind of nice when you can gain and play it, so you can just use it right at the end when the downside doesn't matter.
So, what does Titandrake do? I would assume you play the vassal here next. See what you hit.
Yeah, that would seem like the obvious play. Okay. Oh, this is sad. Do you just take the horses and trash 2 coppers?
Yeah, I was gonna say just play them both and buy nothing.
Yeah, I don't see
Yeah.
much better. I'm
I
not
think
sure what.
Donald is not wrong to say that this kingdom would be a lot different with a good $5 card that you actually won a game.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if you had, like, Paddock or something, for example, that would be really interesting.
Oh, that would just be bonkers. That many
Yeah,
horses.
would definitely make it a lot stronger. Um, you could consider buying cavalry here as Titandrake. Um, I don't know
I
what's.
suspect, given how much junk is in their deck, you buy the cavalry, then you just draw 2 more junk, and you're trashing anyway. I guess that has the estates are in the discard.
Yeah, there's one copper down there. I think it might be one copper and two ports.
That sounds probably right. Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't think drawing that's good for them probably. And I'd rather
yeah,
force
because
the top.
I think the issue with the cavalry line there for Titan Drake is that then you have to trigger the shuffle to find enough junk cards, and then your next turn is just terrible.
Pop got the really lucky vassal hit. I guess not that lucky, but pretty lucky vassal hit. They had a
Yeah,
greater than 50% chance here of just having an utterly dud turn.
yeah, hitting
Now,
port there
probably
is
draw the deck.
great. Would they? I mean, they don't have any horses though, so I don't know that they really can draw everything.
They have 4 coppers down there. Yeah. I think it's theoretically possible. So what if you play the cavalry, then you play the sage, and it skips all the coppers, and then you draw back around to the horses? I think there might be a theoretical where they draw their deck.
Yeah, I can see that. I will say another thing about capital on this board is I feel like on boards with Villa or Cavalry, debt is like especially bad because you might dud in a way that could have been saved if you didn't have the debt.
Yeah. Yeah. Wait, there's 2 capitals gone. Did I not get a second one?
No, Titan Drake took one as well.
Oh,
Yeah, that
not.
play also I didn't like.
I feel like cavalry is just even, accepting the on gain effect. Cavalry in your deck is still a better card than capital with abundant villages.
Yeah, I agree with that. I feel like I don't know. I feel like some people have kind of exaggerated the whole like cavalry's a bad card in your deck. Like on a board like this with like a good village like Port, I mean it's a good card in your deck too.
Yeah, I really like the delay draw cards from Menagerie, like Cavalry and Slay and such. I feel like it gets the best of both worlds. Like you've got the moat aspect of it draws 2 every turn, as compared to like a duration draw like Enchantress, and then you got the Enchantress aspect of it never draws dead.
Yeah.
And so like Cavalry, Slay, Way of the Squirrel, I think is just kind of like the ideal way to draw cards if given the option.
Yeah, I feel like I don't know. It almost feels like a little bit of a sub theme of Menagerie of like ways of drawing that never draw cards dead. You could even throw like Barge in that just because you can always duration it instead of playing it terminally.
And of course, the one downside of the cavalry Slay, Paddock as well, we mentioned Paddock, draw is you don't get the benefit immediately. So like the first time you play it, it's the stop card, and then it's like drawing you every turn after that. So it's not like strictly better than something like Moat.
Yeah.
But I think if given the choice, that'd be my preferred way to draw cards more often than not.
I will
Especially once you can start to like seed your deck with like horses and stuff, then you're never gonna do it again.
Yeah, that's really nice when you can do that. I will say they do kind of make up for the like. It's like in some sense it's slower, but I do feel like it also makes up for that a little bit because you can justify adding them sooner.
Yeah. Yeah, like opening Paddock, I think is just like stronger than I originally gave it credit for by a good margin.
It is a nice open. um,
I would think you take Port.
yeah,
I
I
mean,
think
I guess
so.
2 villages.
I mean, it could honestly be nothing too, and just not have any debt. But I think ports are better than that.
What do they got coming up down here? They've discarded 2 coppers, so those bottom 2 cards are remaking 2 coppers. They're reasonably likely to dud, but in a way that Cavalry might. It might be worth keeping the debt ledger free. Like supposing you had like remake 2 coppers vassal and such. Would you want to play the Vassal and buy Cavalry to have the shot at the turn? I would think
Um,
yes. You still got 2 other coppers that you can trash with remake if you do draw.
yeah, I mean, I guess the only kind of issue with that is you could
It's this
also,
exact hand.
yeah, like with this hand, like the thing is, it's not even really. So, like the thing is, you could also just dud on actions, right? Like if you play the vassal and hit either the 1 copper or a terminal, then you still dud even if you didn't have the dat.
That's true. Certainly
So
with the death, I'm just trashing. Whoa, that was. I guess that's not that much of a gamble. That's mostly action cards down there. It's a little bit of a gamble that you'd be really sad if it failed.
yeah, I mean, I definitely agree with playing the vassal there. Guess Titandrake's last turn just accomplished thinning 2 cards, basically. I mean, I think Pop is still very far ahead.
So Titandrake has now trashed a total of 4 of their starting cards. I guess to be fair, I guess Pop has only trashed 6, but they'll be up to 8 here, presumably.
Yeah, I mean, Pop has that control, basically, and Titandrake really doesn't at this point.
I don't think there's anything down there worth drawing 1, 2. I mean, I guess you could draw the cavalry that you just bought, which is not unreasonable.
Yeah, you could potentially even draw 2 cavalries. Or, no, just the 1, yeah. What's that bottom card? I think it's a... No, trash the Oasis. Capital? Oh, no. That got discarded with Vassal. Huh.
Do they seem both horses? Could be the second horse. Yep.
Okay, yeah. So these cards are Capital, Cavalry, and what else? I don't know if you're supposed to play that horse.
I think it's probably worth it. Getting to buy 2 4s here seems probably better than not doing it.
I mean, there's still the question of how much debt you want to take on.
I think my goal, given this line that Pop is taking, would be to do a lot of like gain and play stuff with the remake on the following turn. I was expecting something like, I don't know, like Port Envoy, and then you start remaking Sage or something into remakes, and then maybe play the second remake, and get that sort of thing going.
I could see that. Pop's taking a lot of vassals, which kind of makes sense at this point. Your deck is mostly action cards.
Yeah, at this point, the vassals are not bad.
I was kind of wondering about just emptying ports on Pop's turn. Like, I don't know. I mean, how much of an advantage do you think an 8-4 port split would be?
It's something I thought about briefly, but it didn't seem like it did enough damage to Titandrake's deck for me to want. Like, the villages aren't helping you at all in the short term.
Yeah, I think I can agree with that.
Like, I think my ideal deck here would probably involve a lot of ports, because I'd like to do a lot of, like, gaining and regaining remakes and stuff, remaking horses and remakes. But supposing you lose access to that, I think you could build a viable deck that's shorter on actions and just plays vassals or something.
I can see that, yeah. I wonder if Pop can win this turn. It seems...
What are you piling besides ports and vassals? Like emptying remakes?
Either remakes or cavalries.
Gaining, I guess cavalry does come with +5 if you have the money for it, but Pop is still pretty far from that.
Yeah,
it does not look like a win this turn hand.
Hard. I mean, say you remake. Yeah, I don't think this wins.
I'd be inclined to remake the horse into something, trash a copper, and play cavalry.
Mm,
Don't think I want to kill the capital of the cavalry here.
I'm thinking about something involving buying another cavalry, like maybe remake horse and copper, and then buy port cavalry. Could be. How many
Is there
car-
anything?
How many coppers?
What's the advantage of that line?
What's the advantage? Well, you get to play a second cavalry.
Like I would think if I was going to return to the action phase, I'd put something that gives me value this turn in that deck, like buy the last vassal and play it, or buy a gold even and then play that would not be bad if you're get the benefit this turn.
Hmm.
Although this deck I guess probably doesn't want money treasure or money payload.
Yeah, I certainly don't think something like a gold makes any sense. Um, I think I'd want to buy like Port Remake here.
Province, apparently.
Province. Yeah, I don't think. Titandrake's deck just isn't really that good, so I don't think you have to worry about them winning this turn.
Yeah, I think Pop 180 is projecting a deck that does not exist in the Titandrake. They're like, oh, my deck is relatively close to being able to 3-pile. I should be cautious of my opponent's is.
Yeah.
I don't think Titandrake is realistic to do that.
Yeah, I've definitely done that where it's like you kind of just assume that your opponent has the same deck that you do, but sometimes their deck is just a lot worse, and so you don't really need to play around that kind of stuff.
I mean, again, in a position where you can afford to be overly cautious, like buying a province, you're probably going to win anyway.
Yeah, I certainly don't think the province is like risking a whole lot. I'm certainly imagining that Pop 180 is going to be able to win on their turn. Maybe pretty easily, even.
Yeah, in fact, I don't know. Like the province, frankly, might have been the best play there, even if it feels super cautious. Because like, if you're this far in the lead, you might just want to be cautious. Maybe protect yourself against Titandrake piling out over 2 turns in a scenario where you happen to dud or something like that.
Yeah, that's a good point. There is still the issue of the debt preventing you from potentially saving a dud by buying cavalry.
Alright. So, what do you do as Titan?
I haven't been paying as much attention to their side.
Like this is naturally true. Player 2 is just always in the position where you don't look at it. You're looking at player 1's hand from their vantage point.
Yeah, it is kind of harder to keep track of. I am a little surprised that envoys are at 10, but at the same time,
The
I'm
two
not.
things I was considering here would be Envoy or Remake, I think.
That makes sense.
Probably Envoy, so you can get the
Capital.
Remake mid-turn. If I'm Titandrake, I think I just want to keep building and try to like pull off the Duchy pile out before pop, or pop, whatever, empty the piles.
Sure.
Which, I mean, is likely to happen. But
Yeah. Yeah, I have a hard time imagining Pop not winning this turn.
it feels a little weird for Titandrake to take 6 debt to get a capital.
That does seem really strange, yeah. You could have even just not bought anything that turn.
Yeah, it achieves the same effect with 1 less stop card.
Yeah. Yeah. So, what are these cards?
I'm about to find out. One is a port. My guess is the other is a vassal.
Sounds right, yeah. So you could draw with the horse. Sage, okay, Sage into Cav. I want to turn one of these 3 costs into a remake now.
Yeah, another remake sounds better than another cavalry. Maybe they'll pile out here anyway. Does it
Yeah,
have
I
money?
think this is
I
still
think they got it. Yeah.
winning, right? Has
Yeah,
14.
definitely.
Yeah, this wins. Cool, cool.
Yeah, so I guess the second remake wasn't even required.
Cavalries. Yeah, there were a lot of ways to win there.
There were definitely fancier pile outs than the one that's being taken.
Yeah, I'm kind of wondering. I think you probably could have piled remakes too. Not totally sure.
I would not be surprised if you could like pile estates or something with plus buy off of the cavalry gains and extra capitals.
Yeah, that seems very plausible. Yeah, I
I
don't know.
don't know.
I think I don't know. I think that game was mostly decided by Titandrake just having a really bad position from the beginning with the
That double
sombrero.
gold sombrero. Yeah,
Yeah,
with and opening that path, like remake plus some good names for it, being a full shuffle behind is absolutely huge.
yeah, especially as player two, it's just very hard to recover from.
This is interesting. The only draw here looks to be research, but I think that's worth playing toward.
Hmm. Yeah. Huh. Only villages bandit camp, which is a little awkward.
Right.
Oh, Squire. Okay, yeah. But yeah, that neither of those cards.
Yeah, not that Squire's any less awkward. They're both like little necropolises.
Yeah. So like,
Which makes Embassy not really draw.
embassy could also be like kind of awkward if, since your opponent can take a changeling instead of a silver. Um,
Yeah, I think something along the lines of what Soccer is Fun is describing is kind of where my intuitions are pointing me to. I feel like Skulk is actually pretty good in terms of just like being fodder for something like research.
yeah, that does seem good.
And the
Reese.
Legionary attack will really hurt the Embassy deck if you're trying to play something money-ish.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, money with like embassy doesn't seem good because it's just gonna die to legionary.
Animal
Clem-
Fair is also not a bad target for research. You could see a world where you like turn your Skulk into Animal Fair for a extra good research target, something like that.
You can also turn Squire. Yeah, Crabcat's pointing out turning Squire into an animal fair, and then you can gain like a legionary or a skulk too. I think I like plan research. Plan skulk does
Yeah, I
seem
was
okay.
thinking plan research. Soccer is fun, like plan Skulk. Both of those seem alright.
3-4 seems a lot better than 4-3.
So in 4-3, research and then plan something. Like research, plan Skulk. Could be research silver.
Yeah, any of those seem fine. If you're opening Skulk here, you do take an actual Skulk, right? You're not taking a Changeling and a gold, right?
I don't. Yeah, I would not take the changeling. You don't have enough good targets for it yet.
Yeah.
There's a decent chance you get a hex that matters here. And the Skulk itself is less bad for your deck, I think, in the first place.
Yeah, and in the long term, you can just turn it into an animal fair or research it, so it's fine.
I guess a consideration here could be research Squire, with the intent to just directly go Squire to Animal Fair and then gain like a Legionary or Skulk. That's something that's worth considering.
Yeah, that sounds reasonable.
I think research plan Skulk is my final answer for Pop.
Okay. I wonder how big you build here in terms of like, do you play with multiple displaces or?
Pop has put exactly 2 coppers in play, as if they're fooling anybody. That they're seriously deliberating whether to buy Squire or Estate here.
Yeah, I mean, Titandrake's next turn is kind of forced, so I don't know why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, research, I think, is the best there.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And, yeah, I don't know. I think I did like the plan research open a bit better for Titandrake. Oh, Titandrake's actually taking the Changeling over the Skulk.
It's going to lead to a sad next hand. I'll be curious to eventually see what that top hex is that they could have gotten, see whether it's something that would have hurt in the short term.
Yeah, not super clear.
Like something like poverty can hurt a lot, something like miserable not so much.
Yeah, poverty could hurt. Stuff like plague or greed could be annoying.
What's your first 5? Displace?
Yeah, I like displace, especially with a good 2. I mean, I think the other consideration would just be another Skulk, but I think I prefer the displace. What do you want next turn for Pop? I'm thinking about second research.
Let's see, what do they have coming up? 3 coppers. Yeah, second research seems fine.
I do not like the way Titandrake has played so far. Just, like, I don't know, it just feels like they're not going to get deck control soon enough.
Yeah, I think this is the same sort of problem that you have with something like opening Soothsayer. Is the moment you start going on this path, you're like adding a bunch of golds to your deck. I find that it never comes together. Like even with plan, buying a Skulk is increasing your deck size because you're getting 2 new cards and trashing 1. And the Changeling's not helping things. They're taking 2 Changelings now, so and the only target for those Changelings are even more golds.
Yeah. It almost feels like Titandrake is trying to play money, and if you play money here, I think you're just going to die to Legionary.
That Storm, I think, would actually look a lot better if they had not taken the Changelings. Like, I'd be happy to use the second buy on that to turn a Skulk into an Animal Fair.
Yeah, that's a good point. I was thinking Titandrake should have just taken research there and tried.
Yes, I do agree with that. The correct solution was not to take the Storm in the first place. But in a world where you take Storm, I think I would have not taken the Changelings.
So for Pop, I mean, the obvious play is to trash Estate, buy Squire, and trash a Copper. I don't know what else you would even really consider.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I mean, maybe you trash a Copper with research and then trash your Estate with plan so your research doesn't miss the shuffle, but that seems definitely worse.
I would rather draw 2 cards than keep my research in the shuffle.
Yeah, that definitely seems more valuable.
So there's a question in the chat about like how good is a hex on average. Bear in mind that like separately from the value of Skulk hexing you, I think Skulk actually might just be better in your deck than Changeling is, because Titandrake has no good targets for the Changeling, and certainly don't need more golds right now. And the Skulk can also like plus buy is not bad. You can buy Squires, you can advance things to Animal Fairs. The Skulk itself can be turned into an Animal Fair or Research for an extra draw relative to Changeling. Even if it like didn't hex the opponent, I think Skulk would probably still be a better card.
Yeah, the trash for benefit applications do seem really nice here.
I would guess that a majority of the hexes hurt. Like Delusion would be relatively annoying. Poverty, Haunting, Fear.
Yeah, like all the hand
Envy.
size ones and all the junking ones seem annoying.
Plague, Greed. Maybe Bad Omens. Maybe War.
Legionary? Yeah, I do not like Titandrake's position now.
Yeah.
I I think he still should have taken research there over the Legionary.
Yeah, so at this point, it looks like Titandrake is pretty well and committed to the Legionary money strategy. I don't think it'll pay off, but we'll find out.
Yeah, I think I definitely want second research for Pop. So probably just like Squire for buys, buy Squire research here.
And then you get to trash the estate as well. All that sounds good to me.
Maybe thinking about two Squires from the looks of it.
That would not be bad. Second research. I don't know. I mean, you are trashing extra thing immediately, which is kind of what the research is getting you, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, colliding two
that.
Squires is going to be really nice. So I don't. I'm not against double Squire here.
I think that and then Squire research are the only two things that seem obviously worth considering to me.
I guess you could do something like Squire Skulk too, with the idea of, well, getting Animal Fair, getting the gold for Legionary. I don't think I like that as much though.
And then relatively soon, especially if they get extra Squires here, something else worth considering is that Squire can gain changelings.
Oh, that's
we need
true.
additional cards.
Yeah, that definitely seems like it can be useful.
I didn't see a world where like gaining a changeling here was better than just playing the Squire for buy. But I could imagine within a turn or two, you start using the Squire for that.
Uh-huh. If you do buy double Squire here, would you trash the estate, or would you just trash two coppers?
My inclination was to trash both coppers.
Okay.
Like either that estate's getting trashed with another Squire buy, which makes no difference, or it's getting trashed with the research. And I think I'd rather trash an estate with the research than a copper.
Sure.
It's probably not surviving two more shuffles in any case.
Okay, so Squire Skulk. Yeah, I don't think I like that quite as much as either the double Squire or the.
Trash the estate over copper. Which I guess if you only have one research in deck makes a bit more sense than if you have two.
Well, here they didn't have a choice because they used all 6 of the money.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right.
I want to keep the Skulk though too. It's a good research target, and yeah, Changeling isn't that exciting at the moment.
Also, like if the goal is going to be to trash any of these Squires, I'm not sure if it is, but like it very well might be. Playing Skull for plus buy will be helpful.
Yeah, the plus buy is nice if you want to do the Animal Fair play, and I think you do want to do that sometime soon for Pop.
And then I think the other card that I want to be getting very soon, I think Pop's deck, like in the next turn or two, is a Displace. Because they're starting to get clean, and then I think that's the main payload card you want to be playing with.
Yeah, it seems right. I mean, yeah, also, I mean, just turning Squire or coppers into Squires is nice. I don't like returning the Skulk for a Changeling.
Bandit Camp surprises me.
Yeah, that doesn't seem great. I mean, based on how Titandrake is playing, I honestly wouldn't be surprised to see a Province by next turn, even.
Hey, I thought we were just playing Legionary Money. And in Legionary Money, Bandit Camp seems worse than another Legionary, another Gold, or even training on Legionary.
Yeah. So, yeah, Pop. Yeah, that turn from Pop seemed... Well, I guess the only interesting decision Pop had that turn was whether they wanted a second Gold or another Squire. It's not super obvious to me which is better.
What are you keeping as Pop?
I think
Plan and a Copper? Oh, sorry, Research and a Copper?
it might be both the Squires, just so you can you can play 1 for plus buy, and then, well, maybe if you're doing that, it should be Research Squire. Yeah, I think I like Research Squire.
I'm not Legionary in general as junk mail is making it out to be. Like, it's hurting now because Pop doesn't have their deck up and running yet. But, like, once you start playing the researches, you'll have a big enough hand size to line up the next turn's research. And then in the long term, I think the Legionary attack hurts less.
Yeah, I mean, your deck already... If your opponent is playing Legionary, like, every turn, that's... kind of means that their deck is working, and once your deck is working, then playing around that attack shouldn't be too bad. It's probably just Province here for Titandrake, right?
Seems pretty reasonable to me.
I mean, I don't think I would want to be provincing this early, but given the state of Titandrake's deck, I don't see anything better.
Yes. Given what Titandrake's deck is and what Pop's deck is, I'm looking to empty provinces as quickly as I can and not draw the game out.
Mm-hmm. I do really... I feel like Pop needs a second research. I mean, I feel like he needed a second research a while ago. Really.
Yeah, I mean, it's both the card that helps thin your deck and your main draw card here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I think research draw can be... I mean, in general, research is like pretty weak as a draw card, but I think with Skulk and Animal Fair and all the support it has here, I think it's the thing to be doing. Displace.
Displace would not be a bad buy here. Research would still not be a bad buy.
You mean for Pop?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's still should be research.
And then Titandrake has 5. Legionary or Displace?
Wait, Titandrake? To me, it looks like Titandrake has 8.
Oh, I'm just confused about whose turn it is, aren't I?
Either that or one of our
Wait,
browsers.
No, I'm right. It's Pop's turn. Titandrake has 5. You got me confused.
Maybe my browser's lagging. Let's see.
There's a lot going on in this game. There's like, 6 total cards visible? And, I mean, I can only count to 5 on one hand. It's more than I can reasonably be expected to keep up with.
Oh! Okay, yeah, no, I thought it was Titandrake who just played that Legionary. Okay, yeah, that
You had me
sense.
thinking that for a minute, too. I thought just had the turns totally wrong.
Okay, yeah, I was confused there. Okay, yeah, I think this probably should still be research. Gold. That.
Well,
yeah.
I have strong opinions about that.
Yeah, I do too. Yeah, like the thing is, I feel like Pop like kind of started the game out with like going for a thin deck and whatnot, but like now I feel like they're kind of transitioning to just playing money.
Maybe that was the plan all along. Maybe we read into their strategy something that wasn't actually there.
Well, yeah, I mean, I
don't
think
like
it was.
That be a pro, but maybe that was the plan the whole time.
No, I think that was like what Pop was planning on doing. I think I was just talking more about what my plan would be.
Yeah. Yeah, like if you're playing the research based deck, then a goal would actually just be pretty much strictly worse than a skulk.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah, if they're both playing money, then I think I prefer Titandrake's position.
I think I do too. I mean, a lot of times, like I've seen this a lot where like one person just like commits, like just decides like, okay, yeah, my deck is just going to be bad this game, and then the other person like starts out like trying to build a good deck, and then they just kind of like give up at a certain point. And
Yeah,
usually what happens is like the person that gave up from the beginning usually ends up being ahead.
yeah. I agree. That does tend to be true. Now, my guess is Pop didn't give up. My guess is Pop was just never trying in the first place.
Yeah, that
But
seems
nonetheless, the
right.
result will be the same, I think. As Pop built the less efficient money deck.
Yeah. So definitely research the gold here, right?
Yes. Do you kill one of the squires?
Um.
You could research gold, play one squire for changeling. Hmm.
Kill the other one into animal fair.
Alternatively, you could research gold, play both squires, one of which gets a changeling, and then you buy a changeling, trash the other copper. I think that's my new favorite line.
That could be good. You could also consider something like Squire for buy, and then buy Squire by Animal Fair. I guess that's the same
And
as the
gain
other.
legionary, or Pop already has legionary, right? Or
Yeah, I think Pop has one Legionary, and then Titandrake has two.
maybe getting Sculpt is better.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not super clear to me. Yeah, honestly, I would just like
Oop, not a fan of that.
trash as a copper. Yeah, that's really strange. Like, trashing gold with research is just so nice because your next turn gets to be so much
A lot of
better.
draw.
Yeah. So here, I still want a second research, but I'm probably not going to see that at this point.
Do you play as Bandit Camp as Titandrake? I have to assume not.
Yeah, definitely not. You don't want all these good cards to miss.
It looks like he makes the correct call there.
Already hit
Um,
8.
Supposing Titandrake misses 8, like it hits 6 or 7 at some point in the near future, I think probably the next best thing for their deck might actually just be training on Legionary. That resolves the very likely scenario of having like a Legionary, a gold, and a copper in your hand.
Yeah, that seems good.
Granted, they hit 5 here, so oh no, they hit 7, so they might come up.
Yeah,
Um,
I think training on Legionary here makes some sense for Titandrake. Presumably this is training on Squire.
Pop's deck is just Legionary money with extra steps.
Yeah. Displaced now, huh? Okay. I don't really feel like Displace is the kind of card you want in a money deck. Yeah. Yeah, at
I
this
don't know.
point.
This place money seems not bad. Um, Especially when you got golds around. It might just be worse than Legionary though.
Yeah,
But
I
I wouldn't
mean,
like, take out Legionary and Displace. I think would be a reasonable money card here.
the issue with Legionary for me is just it's the kind of card that relies on you lining it up with good targets, and if you don't have deck control, you just really can't count on that. So, yeah, I think Titandrake's position is just pretty one at this point.
Agreed. I'll be researching the Legionary here. Yep, that seems right.
Yeah, that makes sense. Could just turn this into an animal fair. Yeah. So
Wow, that paid off.
does pop? Oh yeah, that did work out for Titan.
Better than I was anticipating it.
Um. So how much money does Pop have? Like enough for double if they want it.
A lot, but surely not enough.
Yeah, definitely not 24. I think you're probably supposed to take double here.
Yeah, I think it definitely is rational for Pop to double, even though it's obviously
Yeah.
a development loss in this scenario.
Right. I mean, we know that it's going to lose, but I don't think you're really beating Province from Titandrake.
Yeah, I would double and pray if I were in Pop's shoes.
Yeah. Could probably undo that and then also turn a copper into a squire.
Yeah, sounds like
Or maybe
could just be a
no,
2 province over, I guess.
no. I think you need to do double province estate. Right.
Well, let's see. If you get all, oh yeah, if they get all 3 provinces and they're still losing. Yeah, maybe double province estate is the best line.
Yeah. I mean, I guess if you don't want to take two provinces, like if you took province and two duchies, and then Titandrake provinces, and then you would still need like province and three duchies, like, eh.
Yeah, I don't think there's any sense in playing around Titandrake provincing, given that your deck is barely better, if at all.
Yeah, I mean, if your deck was like, if you had a research gold this turn, then a line like that would make a lot more sense.
Another question to ask is like, how do you play around Duchy? I guess from Titandrake, supposing they can't hit province. I'm not sure what the best line is for beating 28 points. Still might just be double province.
Yeah. Wait, Pop trained Animal Fair over Squire? Why? What?
It's a good question.
Don't they have like a million Squires in their deck?
Let's see. There are
Sweet.
3 squires in the trash, and Titandrake has none, right?
They have more. Oh, they actually do. Oh, there are.
They can't, right? They have like four squires, don't they?
I think so.
I'm pretty sure Titandrake never got a squire. Am I wrong with that?
Yeah, no, the log agrees with you. Yeah, so it seems like they have at least 4 squires. So, yeah, it looks like Pop does try to play around province, and seems really doubtful that it's going to work. But, huh? Wait, what?
I mean, yeah, it's definitely lost at this point. You're not bidding 31 points.
Yeah. So I guess you buy duchy here. I would have considered keeping the province and the displace for Titandrake.
I would have absolutely kept the province. It's a free duchy.
Yeah. I mean, I guess you could just turn Bandit Camp into duchy if you want. Okay, yeah.
This play right here is the best given the situation, but it's just like an admission that you messed up. Why would you, A, not play the Bandit Camp, and B, get it out of your deck, rather than exile the province? It's just like
I guess
worse in like 2 different ways.
Yeah, I agree with saying that's just like an admission that you should have kept province. So here, play Squire, play Animal Fair, trash gold, buy duchy, I think, for Pop.
I would really love to research the Animal Fair, except that would work a lot better if the training were on Squire.
Yeah. So duchy here from Titandrake, presumably.
Yep.
And at this point, Pop's like even gonna need to dip into estates if they wanna get enough points.
I think it's Pop. You just keep Legionary Gold. Actually, no, they have stuff set aside. You still keep Legionary Gold because they don't have a Legionary or Gold set aside.
Right. Yeah, I agree with that. And then I guess you're just gonna double duchy for.
Yeah.
How much money do you have after that?
Double Duchy is still like that. You're at 30 points compared to your opponent's 37 with no duchies left at the end of that.
Yeah. So. Okay. Yeah. So this is just gonna be double duchy estate. I mean.
Yeah.
It's not inconceivable that Pop wins. Like, I wouldn't resign in this position. Although, I mean, Titandrake is definitely massively favored.
I hope your opponent failed to hit like 2 here.
Actually, wait, doesn't Pop just win now? With, yeah, Province Double Estate, right?
Oh my lord.
What? Oh, man.
You're kidding.
What?
What?
Oh my
Where did
god.
that come from?
Well, Titandrake just missed a bunch of turns in a row, and then, yeah, once the
Yeah.
duchy's emptied, the animal fairs gave by,
Wow.
and, um, okay.
Yeah, they could hit 7 a bunch.
Yeah. Um, so, yeah, that was definitely very clutch for Pop.
Also, I want to point out, I think training on Legionary would have saved at least one, if not multiple of those turns from Titandrake.
Yeah, yeah, I think I saw like a few sevens that could have been avoided with that. Okay, so Pop is up 2-0 now. Um,
My here is remodel settlers. Looks like you built a pretty obvious patrol hostelry thing, maybe with festivals and archives. There.
yeah, I don't think I really like Archive on this board, but Festival definitely seems necessary for the plus buy. Um, yeah, remodel Settlers seems good. Getting to remodel an estate into a hostelry seems like a strong play. Um, Gonna want a money lender a little bit later.
Yeah. I mean, opening moneylender would also not be unreasonable. Taking remodel as your second 4. I think I like the idea of early hostelry though a lot.
Yeah. What does payload look like on this board?
Festivals and golds.
Yeah. I'm kind
The
of
golds
one.
won't be as bad with remodel around anyway, because they become provinces in the end.
That's true. I'm wondering about some sort of like janky deck that plays with a bunch of talismans and then like feeds a bunch of 4s to bishop.
Maybe a thing, yeah.
Yeah, that might be more fancy than what these players like going for.
I think the definite answer is you want to build reasonably big here. You can't green early because then the bishop deck starts to become incredibly appealing.
Yeah, that is like a dynamic that exists on these kinds of boards. Like, even if Bishop isn't good enough to be your first choice, like, if your opponent just starts, like, buying Province on 8, then you can go into that, and they're not going to be able to take 8 provinces fast enough.
Yeah, it is interesting, I think, that cards like, Bishop often influence the strategies that end up getting played, even if the Bishop isn't part of it. Where, like, you build big, and then once you built big, you just province. But the reason you built big in the first place was because if you didn't, then Bishop would have become the best form of scoring.
Yeah. So they both go for remodel silver. I think I agree with you that Settlers was better, largely because of Way of the Goat.
Yeah. And silver's not unreasonable.
Yeah.
Settlers would also not be bad if you found a turn 4. I'd probably just play it normally, depending on what is in the rest of your hand.
Yeah, that could be nice, especially if it gets you an extra horse. Kind of sad times for Titandrake, but I think you buy Archive here.
Mr. No Way Archive gets played.
Well, yeah, I mean, I feel like in general it's
Archive
not
is fun to make.
super good here, but yeah, this early it does seem nice.
Yeah, I think like a single archive is often nice early as a first 5 in a lot of kingdoms, even if you're not wanting to draw with it as your primary source.
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't really imagining that you'd hit 5 off of a remodel open.
That's fair. Yeah, remodel settlers is not the open that makes you most likely to hit 5.
Yeah.
But they, I guess, took the silver, which splits the difference a little bit.
Yeah, I think with silver you're approximately 50-50 to hit 5. Popper into settlers. I don't know. I kind of think I like the talisman bishop nonsense. I mean, I don't know.
Certainly not at this point, right? You're not suggesting that they already go into that now.
No, I don't want to. Yeah, I don't want to like gain a talisman yet, but yeah, like I don't know. The other deck of just like buying festivals and patrols and golds and provinces, like I don't know. That just doesn't seem like quite inspiring enough to me.
I mean, you're doing a little bit of that anyway, because you got to be able to hit the numbers to buy the talismans and the bishops.
Sure. I mean, you don't need to play with like gold for the bishop deck, I guess. It's kind of just like a play the deck that doesn't buy golds kind of thing.
Yeah, I can see that being better for sure. Ooh, it's not a happy hand for Pop.
Yikes, yeah.
That's a very unhappy hand. I think you play the patrol just because it gets you farther through that bad shuffle.
I was thinking about remodeling estate to hostelry. I mean, exactly how bad is this shuffle for Pop?
This is like all their good cards right now, isn't it? In their hand?
Well, there's at least like a hostelry in there. And
The answer is definitely not Moneylender. I think we can rule that one out.
yeah. I mean, like, the thing is, you're not even, like, shuffling a turn sooner if you play the patrol, right?
Yeah, you are, aren't you? Because you've got a cantrip or two down there.
Oh, that's
Hostelry
true. So I think they have, like, 2 hostelries. So maybe you shuffle a turn sooner?
I guess maybe you're like shuffling exactly enough for it to be a problem. Like if you draw like one card into that shuffle, you do actually run the risk of just creating the same hand again a second time.
Yeah, that could be an issue. Like, you play your hostelries, you trigger the shuffle, and, like, unless you, like, draw patrol as the top card or something,
Right. Yeah.
it's kind of a disastrous shuffle all over again. Yeah, this play makes sense to me.
One all.
No, I think it's 2-0 Pop.
Oh no!
Right?
Oh yeah! Wait. Ignore me. That previous game just already registered as one for Titandrake in my head.
Yeah.
It's 2-0 for Pop. Whoopsie.
Yeah.
I should never
Miraculously.
comment this score. I'm almost always wrong about that.
Okay. This is a nice turn for Titandrake.
Yes.
Presumably, estate to
5 worth of
hostelry.
money and then discard all the coppers actually you can afford to.
And then maybe take a patrol here.
They have none of them so far, and multiple hostelries.
Yeah. Oh, Marcus is up 3-0 in the other match. Huh.
Dang.
Okay. So.
Clearly that's the one I should have commentated. I will have to skedaddle, I think, about on the hour mark, and so I'm hoping this one doesn't take as long as it's potentially going to take, given their play speed so far.
Yeah. Okay. So you say like you have another 55 minutes or so?
Yeah, give or take.
Okay. So what do you buy here for Pop? Could be
Festival?
Yeah, could be festival, could be patrol, could be hostelry and 2 more horses.
How are they on terminals? Let's see. So they've got remodel, patrol, moneylender, and they have. They've got 3 hostelries.
Yeah, so I think they're
They're fine on
doing
that.
pretty good on terminal space. Like, you could easily add another patrol.
Yeah, the benefit for festival I think is more so the plus buy relative to the village aspect.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think I love Titandrake's festival though. Even though like plus buy is nice at this point, I feel like I'd rather just take the patrol and then with the extra draw you can kind of gain and play a festival.
Yeah, for Titandrake, I thought it was Patrol. Pop's already got one, and I think Festival looks potentially more appealing from their POV.
Yeah.
Like, you don't need to be using all your money every turn, because you can do remodel hostelry stuff to use up the surplus coppers productively. And so you're okay with
Yeah.
one buy for a little longer than you might otherwise be.
I mean, as Titandrake here, like, if this festival were a patrol, you could have pretty easily remodeled into a festival. And
Yeah, that's
as
the other thing is, like, remodeling horses into 5 cost is also, I think, a possibility here.
yeah, that is
It
really
only comes once
nice.
you're overdrawing.
Right now, the remodel is kind of sad.
Yeah.
Maybe
It's
considering.
not that bad. Trashing a copper into a settlers is still okay.
Yeah, you could. Looks like Titandrake might be considering settlers to hostelry.
That seems fine. I don't think that'd be a bad play. You get 3 horses and you can still buy a patrol and the settlers.
Yeah, I don't really have a strong opinion about this spot. But for sure, you need to buy a patrol for as Titandrake.
Yeah, agreed. They keep 8. Why do they want for 8?
Silver. Eh.
Uh,
I don't know. I think a settlers and a horse seems better than a silver, right?
I would have thought so as well. I mean, maybe they just counted it out and they realized they were drawing their deck, and that they really wanted the money.
I mean, even if you have enough draw, it's like you can make use of the overdraw, and the consistency's nice.
That is true.
This is like all of Pop's hostelries, right? So they have like 2 patrols and no villages down there, so it's pretty terrible for them.
Making the festival look a lot more appealing in retrospect.
Yeah. This is quite bad. I actually briefly did think about Annex, but then I realized it didn't even do anything.
As Annex rarely does.
Yeah. That would be pretty hilarious. Like, I don't think I've ever, like, bought an Annex in the mid-game just because I realized that I had some, like, disastrous shuffle that Annex would fix.
I feel like I saw that in some video once, like a long time ago. It actually happened. I've never done it myself.
Sycomatic makes a good point. You could, like, turn a silver into a festival or a hostelry and then buy Annex, and that has a pretty good chance of saving your next turn. I mean, that there's no way that's worth it, right?
I don't know. So, if your next turn's just like a full dud, and otherwise playing the festival lets you play festival, then patrol, then you draw a hostelry, another patrol, you get in another moneylender play, you can immediately remodel that duchy.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to talk myself into this. I like this.
I actually am kind of coming around on it too, because it's not like the duchy's not that bad. It's just you just feed it to remodel. So
I think I'm sold. I like this though.
So would you want a hostelry or would you want a festival?
That's a good question. I said festival, but maybe like shuffling in a hostelry and 2 horses is the best bet for not dudding.
Yeah, sure. I mean, so with the festival, you're still like 2 and 7 to dud anyway. But
little higher than that because you could also double bottom deck the patrols. The old turn 9 golden sombrero.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
I don't know, maybe I'm wrong about that. Is there settlers down there? It's possible that doesn't make sense.
Settlers. Let's see. Oh, yes, there actually is a settlers.
So yeah, it's actually only like a 1 in 7 chance to dud then, which is if the festival is in the very bottom.
Or 1 in 6, but yeah.
I think they might do it.
Let's go, buy Annex, do it.
Please.
Oh, that'd be awesome. Yes! Oh my
All
god!
right.
Let's go!
I definitely would not have thought of this. I
Yeah.
like this.
Oh my god. That's so great.
And it worked. Look at this hand. I guess it's actually not guaranteed yet. Maybe the hostelry was better because there's still the second hurdle to overcome of finding another hostelry.
Well, I think that's
And they
actually
only
pretty
need two
easy
cards.
with the settlers. I mean, you
Oh,
just need
you're right.
to.
You're right. Yeah, they get to order it. Yeah, never mind. This is pretty much guaranteed.
Yeah, you have like huge search space for that.
Yeah.
That was such a cool play. I love it.
Just to spell that out more explicitly, in case that was a little bit garbled, the patrol will show you the top 4 cards of the deck, and then they have a cantrip coming up, the settlers, in their bottom 2 cards, and so they'll like what if the hostelry is anywhere in the top 7 cards, they'll either draw it with patrol, or they'll see it somewhere and they can put it on the very top and then draw it with the settlers immediately. That's the idea there.
I love it.
All right, I'm rooting for Pop now,
Yeah.
and not just because that's the winner that makes this match more likely to take less time. Now I think they deserve it after that Anak play.
Yeah. I mean, it's the kind of play where, like, it was really just, like, damage control, right? It's not like the kind of thing where it's like, oh, you do, like, a really cool play and then you're, you know, in a winning position because of it. It was more just like, okay, they were going to have, like, a completely awful few turns if they didn't, but they managed to kind of make it less bad.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, it's like a good demonstration of good play though. Like you've bought a thing that looks terrible to make the best of a bad situation, and you did that because you were tracking your deck well enough to know that your next shuffle was going to be a very bad one.
mhm.
Like even if it's not like a winning play, it's just like a good model for good play, I think.
Yeah. So you can gain and play something here.
Yeah, Donald X has a point. The real picture here was just remembering that Annex exists, which is frankly quite hard to do.
It is one of those things that's easy to forget about. I wonder, I mean, if you're going to go into like the Talisman Bishop stuff, I feel like about now would be the time you start adding Talisman.
So let's see. If you remodel a state into Talisman, you draw that. You play the Moneylender. You could take 2 hostelries now and a horse.
Wait, so you'd have how much money? You'd have,
So the Moneylender covers the debt. Then you've got 5 left. So you take 2 hostelries, you get 1 horse. That's my preferred line.
well, it would be 2 horses, right?
Just 1, right? The Moneylender trashes 1 copper, leaving 3 left. You
Yeah.
have to pay 2 of them to afford the hostelry, leaving 1 copper.
2 of them. Well, no, but it's 1 copper and the Talisman, right?
Oh, you're right. I didn't account for the Talisman money. Yeah, take 2 horses then.
2 hostelries and 2 horses. Yeah, I think I like that. Okay, it takes gold.
This is fine too. Obviously, they might not be doing the Talisman thing to begin with.
Yeah. I mean, if you're not doing the Talisman deck, then this makes a certain amount of sense. I mean, remodel, like, you can go through the provinces relatively quickly with remodel, so that is potentially a point against the bishop. Like, the bishop deck wants a long game, and so just being able to mill through the provinces with remodel could present a problem for that deck.
See, I mean, getting up to a deck that can play 2 bishops per turn seems not hard. That's 6 points per turn. It's not bad, but the provinces are still a threat.
Yeah. Okay. I'm actually, I don't know, I was kind of convinced of the bishop deck, but yeah, thinking about the potential for milling, I think I'm a bit
I'm still
less.
not totally unconvinced because like it's taking me a few turns before they have enough money to double province, let alone like double province and build or anything like that.
Yeah.
It's unclear.
I mean, there is just like a real lack of like good payload cards, or just like good cards for getting up to double province. Like, if you are playing the province deck, then you have to play with golds, and gold is kind of famously a bad card. So.
Clearly the gold. I don't think it's that obvious. Like the first time Talisman gains you a forward boss card, it's kind of done more than gold has.
Yeah, I mean, at least if what you care about is gaining 4 costs. Which, I mean, if you're playing the bishop deck, then it is, but.
Alright, so what's Titandrake got here? 5, 8, presumably 8 money, I would think, if you play both the Moneylender and Remodel to kill the last 2 coppers.
I'm counting 10 if you do that.
Oh, you're right. I forgot the 2 money in play. Yeah, that seems like a good number. Trash both coppers, buy like a festival and a patrol or something.
Yeah. You could even consider like Bustling Village, but that's probably not very good. Yeah, you already have a lot of villages, right?
I would have considered remodeling the silver if the money didn't work out as well. I think you get a second 5. But
Actually,
given
that
you can afford 2 5s anyway, I think I would just kill the coppers.
that might actually be good. I mean, because then you can buy like a 5 and a 4. Oh, Marcus
So
won.
sort of remodel silver, and then you're getting patrol, hostelry, festival, copper, rather than patrol, festival, silver, settlers. The difference being hostelry and copper versus settlers and silver.
Yeah, that sounds right.
So is that better? I'm not sure. I don't
Put
know
it
if I'm
like
on
that. Yeah, it's
JNails
still
is
not
absolutely
super
certain of
clear.
every one of their opinions.
Yeah, junk mail is very very confident about a lot of things. I think I like killing the silver though, just because like you can always kill the copper next turn, and having the extra village in deck means you're less likely to dud. If you're gonna do the talisman thing, it's kind of now or never. I think. I don't expect
This
them
would
to.
be a reasonable turn to pick up a talisman.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm not expecting that they will. Although I'm not entirely sure whether it's good or not. But
I mean, it can be hard psychologically if you're in your Titandrake's position, you're down 2-0, to do something that seems super non-standard.
yeah. Gold, silver. Ugh.
Interesting. Okay, well, if that's the alternative, the talisman is looking not so bad.
Yeah, I don't like that at all. I will say this was a good play order from Pop, like playing the festival before the patrol rather than the hostelry. Because when you keep the hostelry in hand, you give yourself a better chance of finding like another patrol or something.
Well, you know, T-Moon, having carefully considered it, I've come to the conclusion that it was a suboptimal play.
Well put. Yeah. I feel like you can get pretty far in Dominion just by like, just kind of like knowing what cards are good and then like playing the deck that's going to allow you to make the most use of the good cards and the least use of the bad cards.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, like if you did that in this kingdom, you wouldn't be doing the fancy annex thing for sure. But you would have probably stumbled into the like patrol hostelry stuff.
yeah. I mean, I guess that's kind of like the argument I would give for the bishop deck is that that deck doesn't make you click on gold.
True. But it does make you click on talisman, which is also a card one would generally avoid.
That's fair. Although talisman, like, if you have a trash for benefit card like bishop, talisman's not so bad.
Also, word of advice here. Bishop, terrible card to open with. I assume most people watching know this, but just FYI. Bishop is good here. It does not mean that there's any value in opening with it. Never open with Bishop.
Yeah, that is a common mistake.
I see that too often. I was playing those games earlier where I opened with double curse. And I just felt so bad watching my opponents open with Bishop. And I was like, what's the point of it? I'm going anyway now. You've negated my attempt to sabotage myself.
Yeah, seeing an opponent open bishop would definitely make me very happy if I was forcing myself to open double curse.
It happened more than once in like 7 games.
Wow.
Yeah.
Does Pop have any villages down there?
Are they in this situation again?
Oh, yikes.
Is Annex number 2 in the cards?
3.
That also requires you to like remake a gold and or remodel a gold deck into like a festival or something.
Let's see. Yeah, there is no village down there.
What is down there?
I think there's a patrol. Yes, there's one patrol.
They have a second Fettlers, I believe. Yeah, this seems fine. They've only got 3 things that are not cantrips down there, and a bunch of villages. I would just like buy some more villages here, not try to do the annex thing a second time. And you're pretty likely to draw a village.
That makes sense, yeah. So I think
I would probably kill this copper right now, for example, to maximize those chances. Like kill copper and buy like 2 festivals or like 2 bustling villages maybe. Something probably festival and bustling village. Extra plus at this point.
I'm not really super excited about bustling, but maybe 1 is okay.
Just 2 festivals then?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what I was thinking about.
I mean, Bustling Village is just like a strictly better hostelry if you want the draw more than you want the money. Not that you super need it. But it does seem pretty plausible. Maybe just 2 festivals is better here.
Not playing this remodel at all seems strange.
I suggest they want hostelry, I would think.
Yeah.
I don't think adding a horse to your deck actually reduces your chance of dudding in a world where you're also at. Whoa. What? That. They don't deserve to draw this hostelry. They didn't earn this draw right here.
Yeah, I agree.
They actually worked against the likelihood of this hand not dudding.
I mean, this play, like, with that play, you're saying that silver plus copper is better than nothing, which I just don't agree with at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think like 2 festivals or something I think was definitely better.
Also, it's just not time to province.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's that far in the future, but yeah, I would want to build at least a bit more.
That was... They thought a long time to come up with what I think was a very bad choice.
Yeah. So what do you do here as Titandrake?
What's the bottom card?
It's Hostelry.
Might not play the Settlers then. There's no point in drawing that.
Well, the point would be if you want to like remodel like silver in a festival or something and gain and play it. But maybe better is just like turning the Settlers into a hostelry or something.
Or a Talisman.
I feel like it's a little late to get on the Talisman train.
I just saw my opponent buy a province. Um, I know that they're not building super big. I'm not worried about piles.
That's
Maybe
true.
maybe I'm more inclined to do the bishop thing now because it's the thing that justifies me building more.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that. I mean, I think Titandrake's position, like Titandrake could definitely like catch up on provinces, right? So, yeah.
Yeah, like I don't think you have to do the bishop thing to win. I think Titandrake is still probably in the lead if they just go for the standard province route.
Yeah, I feel like most of the time, like alt
Ooh,
VP
ooh,
as.
look at that.
Oh, interesting.
That seems even more premature than buying province. That's like a last turn play, not a right now play.
Yeah, the gold is a pretty nice card in your deck. I don't think I'd. Like,
There, I don't
Well, I at least like
know.
the patrol, but I think the.
But yeah, but the patrol seems quite fine, especially if you just add a bunch of green cards. But
Yeah, these
it,
provinces do seem a bit premature.
double provincing did not seem that urgent. You could have just bought one province, I think, and been totally fine.
Yeah, like buying one province seems perfectly reasonable there. It's just, yeah, getting rid of the gold isn't really seeming so good.
Team Moon has a pretty valid point. What do you do when you're drawing too much? Reduce your payload and add more draw.
Added more draw and less payload, yeah. Well, I mean, you kind of need the extra draw just to cover the provinces, but.
It reminds me of that you know that dog playing catch meme. It's like no throw, only catch.
Oh! Yeah.
No payload, only draw.
I feel like I watched. I forget who the players were. I feel like one of the players was Kaplane, and I forget who the other player was. But somebody, I think it was Kaplane's opponent, like they had a deck where they were like overdrawing by 7 or something, and then they're like, oh yeah, I know what I'll do. I'll buy like 3 more draw cards. And they just kept
You know
doing
what
that.
the single card that I think is worst about encouraging this is, and I admit that I'm very guilty of this myself.
What?
Scrying pool. I could be
Okay.
drawing my deck with like 3 scrying pools left in hand. And I got 2 coppers and a potion. I have to buy scrying pool.
Yeah, I feel like it
Or hit
is.
me to add extra payload.
It is kind of psychologically difficult for people to float potions, I think.
Yeah.
That said, I mean, with pool decks, it's kind of like. I feel like it's kind of different than like drawing with like a bunch of labs or something, in that, like, a lot of times if you don't draw a pool, you're just gonna dud. So like, adding more pools, it's not really that you need the extra draw, it's more that you need the extra consistency. Um,
See what's popping. So they get 3 cards on top, only the ability to draw 2 of them.
yeah. Um, So you could do something like just like gold to province and buy province here. Remodel the estate. You could do that too. Although I don't know, that estate point seems like kind of relevant at this point. So,
Yeah, it actually might be time to keep the points.
yeah.
Um,
I think
if you're
I.
remodeling the province and buying province, then I think you're leaving the gold on top because you still have enough money to do all that.
Yeah. Chooses to actually not doesn't draw the remodel. That's surprising.
This is okay.
So
Just
like,
buy province and buy something else nice.
yeah, I don't know what the other card is gonna be.
Well, let's see where they stand. So if they've got 14 money here, if they buy province gold, then they'll have enough to double province plus mill a province next turn, I think, providing they draw everything.
Yeah.
Or they could buy patrol. And patrol's not bad. Patrol is like the safe card, but it's not the card that I think gives you the ability to threaten to win if your opponent buys any provinces.
I was kind of wondering about archive there.
Yeah, like patrol and archive are both things that I think are quite reasonable.
As Titandrake here, you probably don't play your patrol and you just leave 2 hosteleries on top.
Yeah, you can get the silver off the top of the settlers, and then you're happy.
Mm-hmm. Man, Titandrake has like so little payload just because of that early gold remodel.
Yeah, where did it all go?
uh, you probably want to take exactly 1 province as Titandrake.
Huh. Well, the best you're doing next turn is buying a province and remodeling province into province, right? You can't do any better than that.
Yeah, I don't think you can.
Your moneylender's going to be dead next turn. You might have to buy a copper here. I would actually seriously consider milling a province and buying a province as Titandrake and praying they can't double.
Interesting.
I think you're in really hot water as Titandrake if the game goes any longer than that.
So mill and single. Yeah, I mean, Pop does have more payload and a pretty similar amount of draw.
Let's say single and don't know. What does Pop do in response to that? I think Pop could just take a duchy and keep building because they know you can't actually double.
Yeah, duchy and build does seem pretty good as a response to that. Or maybe maybe even buy some good cards and then annex.
Yeah, you can see your next hand.
Oh yeah.
Annexes.
So good.
Yeah, like, the single province line just seems like a more guaranteed loss to me. Like, it looks bad for Titandrake either way.
Sure.
But I think their best chance of winning is to hope that Pop somehow misses double.
So if you do single province here, is there any way to like set yourself up for a true double next turn?
I don't think Titandrake has any potential to truly double here. They just have no payload whatsoever. And knowing that, I think it seems really hard to play the long game. Like, your deck is doing only 1 province per turn no matter what. All of that. Maybe it's not too late for the Talisman Bishop thing.
No, it's definitely too late for that. You know what you could do is you could remodel the settlers into another remodel. In fact, I'm pretty surprised that neither of them have ever gotten a second remodel.
Well, I like this idea. So, say you take a second remodel, now you're threatening single plus 2 mills.
Yeah. Yeah, which would win next turn if Pop doesn't, do anything.
So you take a province, you take a remodel, but then Pop just has to get like a single province to protect against that. Oh no, that's province Dutch, I guess, because you can annex.
You can even gain and play the remodel. Interesting. So
Nothing looks greater than 50% chance to win, I think, for Titandrake.
I don't know. I feel like I kind of like Titandrake's position now with this play. You could do something like.
Are we taking a province here?
I would take 1 province here.
So you take 1 province, and then you're up by 5 points. Pop, to protect against that, just needs to score like 9 points, which seems. Oh, he took province and duchy. Okay.
Yeah, I think I would have preferred like some sort of draw card over that. I also.
It's Pop does, so it's not a bad choice, but I feel like Pop's turn here should be more than enough to put them out of contention.
Well, okay, so I mean, Pop can't like double and mill, right? Can they?
No.
Okay. So if they can't do that, I mean, what are they doing?
They can double, like if they remodel their gold.
Well, isn't double just like super losing?
Oh, no, what if you double annex? How does Titandrake beat that?
So double and annex is 15 points, so that puts Pop at 28. So Titandrake just needs like province annex back.
Right.
I mean, it seems pretty easy.
Okay. Starting hand, so they're not likely to dud.
Yeah, given this hand, it does seem pretty hard to dud. I wonder, like, do you play the archive before you play the hostelry patrol stuff? Because you'd really like some of your green cards to end up in the archive, but if you play the patrol first, then that's not really happening.
My, I get the reasoning. My strong intuition with the archive is usually to play it later, though, because it gives you more information about what to take. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I feel like those considerations are probably a bit stronger.
Also, there's some risks that maybe you draw some of your other cantrips, and then you can play those, which then allows your archive to draw into stuff that's like even after what the revealed. I'm not totally sure. The play order matters, but it's hard to say which one's better, I think.
Yeah. So, how many provinces do you want to take here as Pop?
Let's see.
I
Taking none isn't safe, because Titandrake could mill 2 and buy 1.
Yeah.
What's that bottom card? Hostelry?
I think so.
Hard to leave on bottom. So they've got 8 in 13 money, potentially. If they remodeled nothing.
Could, like, play Moneylender, remodel a state to remodel.
This would be a nice time to have a 3rd plus buy.
Yeah. Another festival would be nice.
Organic or something.
I'm not sure who I'm rooting for now, because I was really, excited for Pop when they did that Annex play, but I don't know, some of the stuff they did afterwards wasn't really so exciting.
Yeah, I think that, I don't know, Pop's early province struck me as, if there's a point where Pop lost the game, that province silver play was just premature.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I wouldn't even have. I would not have disliked that play nearly as much if they did. Like, I think they could have trashed a copper into a settlers instead of the silver. I think if they would have done that, I wouldn't have disliked it nearly as much. Because yeah, when you do something like that, where you're just like, you're not even you don't really have that much draw, and then you just start flooding with stop cards. You're just begging for some sad turns.
Alright, so they've chosen their line.
Province, and then is this Annex?
Surely it's gotta be.
Yeah, so I mean, all Titandrake has to do is find a gold. If they just find a single gold, then remodel gold to province by Annex is a win. With that in mind,
With that in mind, Archive first starts to seem more appealing.
Is it? It's not so. I was thinking you'd do the patrol first. Surely take hostelry off this, right?
Yes.
You just want more search space for your gold. Yeah, I don't like taking festival. More chance of bottom decking all your golds. Okay, but this is a win.
Yep.
Okay, so Titandrake gets on the board. 2-1 now.
That's a shame. Annex stats don't get to increase.
Yeah, I guess these championship games don't actually get added to the stats. But
Oh, I guess they don't count in the first place, do they? If they're not rated.
yeah, unless you play rated, I don't think they will end up in there.
This looks interesting. A lot going on here.
Interesting, yeah. Way of the Squirrel has a lot of synergy with City Quarter.
Agreed. Makes Chris Village look a lot worse.
Yeah, not too excited about Curse Village here. Um, so what do you want to open?
The two things that stick out to me are Dungeon Masquerade and Double Mask. I think I prefer the former.
That sounds good. Um, yeah, I don't know. I don't really like Double Mask without a like. I feel like it's kind of awkward to add villages early. Dungeon Mask is also nice because if they don't collide, you can squirrel the dungeon. Can prince a horse and then always play it as squirrel. That's cute. Um, might even.
Is there a scenario where Prince gets gotten?
I feel like it could.
Innovation make no. There's no way Prince is ever your first gain of the turn if you got horses.
Yeah, you're just gonna like innovate stuff with Paddock.
All the other cards are so much better.
I mean, it's like the other village costs 8 too, right? So.
The other village is so good.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Oh, yeah. And it's not like okay, yeah. It's not like you're gonna have consistency problems when you're playing like a million squirrels, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So, okay, yeah. Prince is nonsense. Um, so I think what your turns are going to look like here is mostly like you have a really big hand from Squirrel, and then you draw your deck with like one or two city quarters, and then paddocks are going to be good, and like candlestick makers are also good for the plus buy. I kind of think Candlestick Maker is just like a better plus buy than Barge here, even.
Now, the thing you're describing is heavy on terminals. If you're playing squirrels and paddocks, is your only village here the city quarter?
Yes. Although Paddock can potentially become non-terminal.
And innovation will make the first paddock non-terminal, which is kind of nice.
Yeah, the Innovation Village is definitely nice. Um, So Titandrake goes Mask Silver.
Oh, Neko wondering why everyone is here. I have to assume if they're asking that question, they're not listening to us. So it's just not helpful to me to answer them.
Yeah, probably not. I feel like I don't know. I feel like there's kind of like a mythology around Mask Silver where people just like auto open it.
I mean, to be fair, Mask Silver is a pretty good open.
It is. I don't know. I've seen people open like Mask Silver over Mask Patron, and I was just like, why? Why would you do that? That just seems really strange to me. So they both go Mask Silver. Opening Mask Silver on a Patron board?
By patron board, do you mean a board where patron is otherwise important, or just a board that has patron on it?
Basically just a board that has Patron.
Like, supposing you're otherwise not super concerned about the things patron gives, like a villager, but you're very concerned with hitting 5. Mask Silver is more likely to hit 5 than Mask Patron is, and that could be important with, like,
Sure.
Recruiter around or Sentry.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. To me, it's just like the chance of like drawing the patron dead in that scenario is like very, very low, and the chance of like not colliding the patron with the mask and like just getting a free villager, like that's a lot higher, and that seems, I don't know, it generally seems more important.
Let's
Okay.
do 6 of the cards with the mask and 5. So there's like a 5-6 chance of getting villager. or 5/11th chance of getting a villager, and a 2/11th chance of having a really bad shuffle.
2/11.
I think I'm doing that right. Rough. Assuming your math doesn't bottom deck, which makes the point move.
Okay, yeah.
And so it's like 2.5 times more likely that you get a villager. But the downside is also potentially more than 2.5 times as bad.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if you think that not getting to get the 2 money is like more than 2.5 times worse than how good getting a villager is, then you could justify it. Although in general, Patron's going to be a better card for your deck long term as well. Okay, we should probably figure out what's going on in this game. So Titandrake took Dungeon and Barge on turn 3, turn 4. Seems okay. I think I would have taken Paddock as the first 5, though.
I would actually even consider an early Cursed Village here, even if it's going to suck long term. In the short term, Cursed Village actually looks pretty nice. With Dungeon around, with a bunch of terminals. That's going to be Lost City for the moment.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. I mean, I don't even think it's like that bad of like a Necro. I don't think is even that bad of a card.
Yeah.
Long term, because terminal space is pretty expensive.
Like I think my ideal deck probably doesn't have more than one, but I feel like that Cursed Village is getting enough mileage in the short term to justify itself.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. Yeah, I definitely would never want a second Cursed Village, but yeah. This does seem like pretty easy innovation for Pop.
Yes.
You can innovate Barge, you can innovate Paddock. I mean, even like any random card you buy, you can innovate as Way of the Squirrel.
That's true.
If you do that... Yeah, you draw the cards right away, because it's the end of the turn.
Someone else tell him.
It's 2-1 in Pop's favor.
Okay. Second dungeon, yeah, that seems fine to me. I don't have a strong opinion about it.
Yeah, it seems reasonable. I don't know what else would be
I mean,
better.
the ideal solution is just don't hit 4. But given that you have hit 4.
Yeah.
Actually, the duration of that barge. Maybe it was worth playing it.
I guess the problem with that would be the risk of drawing Mask Dead, but might be worth it. So here, maybe take Barge and duration it. Alternatively, like Paddock.
Duration, yeah, both of those sound totally fine. Even Squirrel Village would be reasonable. Although I think with innovation already, picking up another terminal is probably better first 5.
Yeah.
Or second 5? I think second 5 for them.
Well, yeah, the first 5 was the NO. But yeah. Interesting. So probably innovation candlestick. They could. So I think I like innovation candlestick maker and then innovate it as Way of the Squirrel. Could also be same thing but with City Quarter.
Yeah, both of those sound good to me.
I guess the risk with
it gives you like a quasi cathedral sort of effect.
Sort of, yeah.
You're forced to pass something, but you get a bigger search space to choose from.
I guess, so the risk with the City Quarter line is that you don't get to buy anything next turn, and then you don't get to innovate, which would be pretty sad.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I guess the upside to City Quarter is that you have 2 terminals in your deck, so with, Stickmaker you don't get to play everything. But...
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of at the moment. I can't think of anything that really solves both of those problems effectively.
I think
you gotta take innovation. Innovation seems like it's due.
For sure. I think I like the Candlestick Maker a little bit better.
I think it's
Just
totally reasonable. You didn't need the plus buy that much with Barge, which is presumably the terminal you're playing, but
yeah.
yeah, I think this is totally fine.
Does have the
Potentially a option.
dungeon coming in. You could consider just squirreling the mask, but I think it's worth playing it.
Yeah, you still got an estate in your hand.
Getting rid of the estate is definitely nice.
All right, now Pop has 8 and 2 buys. They've already got innovation though. Paddock CQ sounds pretty reasonable.
Yeah. Presumably play the Paddock as Paddock. Right. Get 2 less stat that way.
Yes, I think they've got a dungeon in play, and yeah, definitely. Because like 2 horses in your deck is only slightly worse than Way of the Squirrel. They're not top deck, but if you've got dungeon, there's a decent chance you draw them anyway. And the horses actually kind of function nice with City Quarter, so normal Paddock does seem like the clear choice.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know what the alternatives to that would be. Maybe. Okay. Yeah, I was thinking about wanting to duration a barge. This could be fine. Probably CQ now, though, right?
Gotta be CQ, right? I mean, you want to be able to play both of these terminals, I think.
Yeah, if you don't take CQ, then you... Whoa, silver? Oh, that seems really strange to me.
It's not that bad. They're likely to draw their whole deck here.
Yeah.
And there's expensive cards around. I can see the rationale. That's not something I was considering, but
Yeah.
surprisingly less than some of the other buys in previous games, for sure.
I just don't... Like, I want to be able to play the Mask and the Barge, I guess is the main thing. Maybe Pop is considering next turn, like, Innoing a Prince and then Princing the Masquerade. Be kind of interesting.
I would thoroughly enjoy that. I'm not sure if it's the best play, but I would like to see it happen.
It would be kind of cute, yeah. Okay, so what do you do here is Titandrake. Maybe Paddock CQ? I think the Paddock does look nice here for sure.
Something I don't know if this ever comes up in this kingdom, but if you have Innovation, Squirrel, and Cursed Village, you can buy Cursed Village, innovate it first, and squirrel it so it's in play to avoid that problem where your Cursed Village locusts itself into a bad card.
Interesting. And the reason you would squirrel it is just because that gives you...
Play.
So it's...
Well, like, you ever had a problem where like there's nothing left in your discard, you buy Cursed Village and it immediately trashes itself?
Right.
Like Squirrel would just solve that problem.
Okay. Well, isn't it really innovation that's solving the problem? And...
Well, if you don't have Innovation, you can't play the Cursed Village to get it out of the way.
Right. So, I guess my point is that it's really innovation that's preventing it from trashing itself. Like Way of the Squirrel.
Yeah. You could just innovate it and get no benefit out of it. You don't need the Squirrel to be there.
Yeah, I mean, Squirrel is just nice because then innovating it actually does something for you. Okay, so playing City Quarter here seems... Oh, no, I'm looking at the wrong side. Okay, yeah, so Titandrake did the play I was suggesting of Innoing a Paddock and then buying CQ.
Yep, seems like a good play.
Honestly, like, given. I mean, I don't know that this line was the best thing that could have been done, but given what Pop has already done, I kind of like the idea of innoing a Prince now. Princing this masquerade.
Yeah, I'm totally down with that. Are you buying a CQ with it? I think no.
Yeah, I don't think so. Because you don't have any terminal space issues at that point. And yeah, I kind of want to be able to like afford Paddock the next turn. So this has been kind of slow. How are we? Yeah, we're like approaching 2 hours. This is
We're on game 4.
Yeah.
We're like early into game 4 too.
Yeah.
This is a war of patrician. Not war of patrician. War of attrition. Very different word.
This play seems pretty strange to me. Like not playing barge.
Yeah.
I think I really did like the. I mean, like I said, I would have played differently earlier, and so I would. If I were playing the way I wanted to play, I would never end up in a position where I would want to buy Prince. But given the position Pop's in right now, I want a Prince.
If I were playing the way I wanted to play, it would probably be Way of the Mouse, I think. But to be fair, Squirrel's up there.
Way of the Mouse. Yeah, there could be.
The best way. That's got to be high on your list.
Gold? Oh my god. That seems so bad.
Pop.
Yeah, that seems really, really bad.
I would like to formally express my disapproval.
I mean, like, Paddock seems like clearly better than gold, right? Like, I wouldn't have hated like buying a Paddock, the Paddock, and then buy CQ. Like, you would have 2 debt instead of 5 if you did that, and you would have a Paddock in your deck instead of having a gold.
I think this is in fact my perfect YouTube part.
Okay, fair enough.
And what better time than watching somebody buy a gold?
Okay. Well, thanks for commentating with me.
Yep. Sure, I could make the whole match.
That's okay.
See you all around.
Bye. Oh, I forgot I can actually change my background on this account. Get rid of this ugly thing. Okay, so what's going on here? So presumably Titandrake is gonna discard the 2 horses and then, yep, do this. Makes sense. You can inno this horse as Way of the Squirrel. Yeah, definitely play this as Way of the Squirrel. Now, maybe Paddock CQ. You are running a little low on actions, so getting another CQ does seem kind of worth, but Paddocks seem really good in general. I don't know how long it's going to be before a pile runs out. Of course, once a pile does run out, Paddocks become much, much better. I'm still kind of like in shock from that gold buy. That seemed so bad. Yeah, this play makes a lot of sense to me. Second barge for Titandrake. Could be reasonable. I mean, I kind of feel like, I guess that makes sense. I mean, Way of the Squirrel potentially competes for a similar niche, but not really sure. This is so sad for Pop, because, now they have to, they play the barge as not duration, just to get the plus buy. So, kind of sad there. This could be Paddock CQ, although you're a bit over-terminaled if you do that, and you also still don't have very much plus buy. So, kind of sad there. This could be Paddock CQ, although you're a bit over-terminaled if you do that, and you also still don't have very much plus buy. So, kind of sad there. This could be Paddock CQ, although you're a bit over-terminaled if you do that, and you also still don't have very much plus buy. So maybe it's more like Paddock and Candlestick Maker. Maybe you want an Inno as Squirrel instead of. Oh my god. Oh my god. I am in so much pain right now. This is so bad. Because now, like, this next turn, you're still going to have to. Well, you're only going to have 2 buys. Maybe that part of it is fine. But yeah, just gold. Gold is not a good card. Yeah, like, I think Paddock, CQ. Well, I don't know. Plus buys are still. Yeah, I think Paddock Candlestick Maker is really where you want to be. I think it's 2-1 pop right now. Although it's looking like it's going to be 2-2 pretty soon. Because I do think Titandrake's position is quite strong here. Oh, yeah. It is looking like it's gonna be heading that way, Cat of the Year. Okay, so you know one of these things is Way of the Squirrel, I think? No, it chooses to just play it. Yeah, that way you can play both the Paddock and the Barge. You do this. You do get to top deck 1 horse, which is really nice. Now that I see how this game has played out, I think I am persuaded by JNails' idea of taking CV as the first 5. I mean, the actions are just really valuable. At a certain point, it just becomes a necropolis, but that really isn't a bad thing, I don't think. So here you could do something like Paddock CQ. I think I like that. Getting more actions is always nice. 1 of gold. Interesting. I don't know. I feel like Paddock is kind of just the better way to make money. Although, yeah, I mean, if you get a gold, you don't have to spend as many actions playing Paddocks, and so you can play more squirrels. That said, I mean, Paddock is not terminal forever, so yeah, I mean, Titandrake really doesn't have any problems drawing deck. So yeah, actually, I don't know. Maybe the golds aren't as terrible as I've been making them now. I mean, I think Pop's first gold was definitely nonsense, but yeah. Really, I mean, I don't know. I think this board isn't really quite as strong as I was first expecting it to be, just because of how expensive actions are. So, do you play one of these barges now, or do you play them both next turn? I think you probably want to play one of them now. I think the plus buy is not nothing, and it's not like. I mean, 1 duration barge should be plenty to draw next turn, so don't think it's too much of an issue. Pop still has not touched Paddock. Paddock CQ does make sense. Don't really know what else you would do. I mean, kind of expecting gold CQ, though I do think Paddock is better. Yeah, I mean, since you played both of your barges next turn, you kind of have some extra terminal space going into the next turn. So, yeah, I think with that in mind, Paddock CQ definitely makes a lot of sense. I guess the only other consideration would be if you think you want to add a candlestick maker to get more than 2 buys. Yeah, one of those was played next turn. One of them was played this turn. So gold CQ, definitely in line with the previous plays, but for sure I liked Paddock better. Yeah, I mean gold, especially like you're playing a city quarter deck. Like you want action cards in your deck. Like, yeah, look how nice Titandrake's deck is. And it's like, with Titandrake's deck, it's like you don't even need to. Yeah, basically, what Cat of the Year is pointing out here is you get so many horses that your action density is super high, and then your city quarters draw a ridiculous amount, and then you don't even need to play the horses, and then the number of horses in your deck just keeps on going up. I don't think you should trash Copper here as Titan Drake. Part of me even wanted to pass a horse, but I think, like, it's not even that, like, Titan Drake needs the seventh horse. It's more that, like, it does help pop. Although, I mean, the estate is doing nearly nothing, so. Okay. So, presumably just Paddock. Play this horse as Way of the Squirrel. Gain another horse. And yeah, you play the city quarter, and that way you can play one of these horses as Way of the Squirrel. Yep, this all makes sense. So I got 7 money here. This could be something like maybe Paddock Candlestick Maker City Quarter. Yeah, Dr. Steelhammer agrees with that. Guess your next turn, you're not going to be. Yeah, I mean, you had your one barge coming in last turn, this turn, so. Gold. Huh. Yeah, it might be, I don't know, it might be more draw than you need, but the actions are kind of there. Gold, silver. Huh. Interesting. It's maybe not terrible. Although I kind of feel like I like gold candlestick maker better than that. You get to save a coffer if you do that. I mean, I feel like Pop's draw is just a lot sketchier. I mean, Pop doesn't have any paddocks, which seems kind of crazy. It's Titan Drake. Huh. I don't think I'm in much of a rush to start greening. Although, I don't know. Maybe starting to green now-ish is fine. They got this kind of typical mask game going on where they just pass the one estate back and forth. So I feel like Pop made a mistake there because if they would have played the dungeon before the mask, then things. Yeah, things kind of work out a little bit nicer. Uh, yeah, I don't know. I mean, the thing is, like, I feel like if it was just like silver versus candlestick maker, I could definitely see the silver. But I don't know. It was silver versus candlestick maker and a coffer. So I don't know. Given that, I think I like the candlestick maker better. Um, I wonder if you just start greening as pop. Like, yeah, just like candlestick maker, squirrel, and then province. Yeah. Really takes the actual candlestick maker. Do they want to buy a city quarter here? Well, I don't think you're ever going to play Candlestick Maker as Way of the Squirrel as Titandrake, just because they have so many horses. Um, but yeah, overall, I agree with your points, Keva Sapien. So Pop there thinks that, yeah, I don't think Pop's deck is good enough to be taking a single coffer over a squirrel. Um, so yeah, this all works out for Titandrake. Not so clear what you're passing here. So Titandrake does go ahead and pass the estate still, although I feel like at this point in the game, the estate point might actually matter. Um, so might be able to seed some horses here, I wonder. Um, Probably gonna play this one as squirrel then. Yeah. Wait, Titandrake trashed a copper? Yeah, that's really strange. I don't agree with that at all. In fact, wait, why did Titandrake play the Masquerade at all? It's not like they needed the draw. I would have much preferred playing a squirrel to playing the Masquerade. Yeah, that just seems really odd. So I was gonna wait. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, yeah, undoing that for sure. If you play the barge there, you're just like passing up a free squirrel, which seems really bad. I mean, it's not like, I mean, with like a single squirrel played and a duration barge coming in and the dungeon, it's not like Titandrake is at any real risk of dudding, but still, I mean, I don't think the mask play really did anything. So, um, yeah. Okay, so what do you buy here as Titandrake? Double Province Silver honestly looks totally fine. Um, you're still not quite hitting triple next turn. If you would have, yeah, if Titandrake would have not trashed the copper, then they could have, um, then they could have been in position to hit triple next turn, while also doubling here. Yeah, I really, really hate that copper trash. I mean, yeah, like I said, I really hate playing the Masquerade at all, but, especially the copper trash. Um, Province Gold Silver. Yeah, that's true, Crapcat. Um, so maybe the play was to play the mask, pass the estate for a copper, and then just don't trash. Province Candlestick Maker. Um, well, here I think I actually like the silver better. Because here you're not spending a coffer for it. Yeah, like this seems inconsistent to me. It's like there you buy CSM over silver, but the previous turn you bought silver over CSM and even spent a coffer to do it. So that seems odd. Um, I mean, I don't even. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think 3 buys is not. Like, 3 buys is fine. I don't think the 4th buy is doing a ton for you. And I mean, if you're in a situation where you, like, really need the 4th buy, you could just play both the barges on the same turn. Oh, wait, I say both the barges as though Titandrake has 2 of them. Oh, wait, I actually. Oh, yeah, so that Candlestick Maker is really more like a 3rd buy than a 4th. Huh. Yeah, I think Titandrake did kind of dig themselves into a bit of a hole by buying the silver the previous turn. So maybe that Candlestick Maker was right. That said, I mean, I guess you could just play the barge every turn for the plus buy. But yeah, I don't. If you do that, it's kind of annoying. I mean, Pop skipping Paddock just seems so crazy to me. Although, it's not. I don't think their position is like lost or anything. I think Pop's deck is a lot more likely to dud, though. I mean, Titandrake has like 13 horses in their deck, so that's got to be a pretty significant advantage. So do you pass estate or do you pass copper? Passes the estate. I mean, at this point, it really isn't clear to me. In fact, I think I would lean towards passing copper. Oh, passes the dungeon. Over passing copper. It's pretty confident. Do I think it's correct? Not so clear. Maybe Titandrake has counted out something. Oh. Yeah, I mean, the dungeon is a nice card for Pop's deck. I don't think I like. I mean, solely based on the fact that the dungeon makes Pop less likely to dud, I don't think I like the dungeon pass. Although, yeah, chat's asking about triple. Maybe if Titandrake has counted out that they needed that copper to triple, then giving horse. Had 19 last turn, so yeah, I don't think. Because what, then they increased their payload to 20, and then they still have the coffer, so they can hit 21, so. Oh, 22? Where's the. Because they had 19. Oh, plus the 2 CSMs and the coffer, yeah, okay. Passing. Yeah, I think passing horse was probably better than passing dungeon, though, right? Oh yeah, if you can get them to pass you a copper, you can get another 23. But yeah, it's still no way to triple. Presumably just squirrel both of these dungeons. Yeah. Yeah, I think Dungeon is a better card than Horse for sure. Just because, I mean, when you have so much draw with the CQs, it's like the discarding doesn't. Discarding a few, like treasure or victory cards, doesn't really matter at all. Yep, this makes sense from Pop. Do this, duration the barge, and then has 16. Could just be double province. Because, yeah, I mean, if chat's correct, then at most Titandrake is getting 23. So, if Titandrake can't triple, and I don't think they can, then I think double puts Pop in a strong position. Although, I mean, Titandrake's deck is probably a bit better. So maybe they can plan for just taking a bunch of duchies. Like if you bought 3 duchies then as Titandrake. Yeah, I think Pop being able to double again next turn is something that can happen with all this duration draw. But yeah, I mean, if Titandrake just triple duchies or something, yeah, you triple duchy, you get your duration barge down, say go, then Titandrake's at 22 points to Pop's 18. Yeah, that seems pretty awkward then for Pop. 2 duchies and then something that threatens triple, like a gold or something. So 19 points versus 30. You would need province double duchy to beat that, which is something you can do. Yeah, I think something like double province gold does beat get an estate. Sure. Interesting. So what happens if Pop takes double province estate? Does that change things? What? What is this? This is strange. Really wants that extra coffer, I suppose, but... Well, I don't know. Maybe if Pop has all this calculated... I mean, I don't think the double province line was very promising for Pop. Because of that like double duchy gold line that Crabcat was suggesting, or, you know, paddock or something instead of gold, maybe. Yeah, probably buy copper here, right? Yeah, I would buy copper. So yeah, they're saying, okay, this threatens triple. So I don't think you want to touch provinces as Titandrake. Does buy the copper, which I think makes sense. Although, I don't know, maybe not. It's actually going to have to burn a few horses this turn. Do you play another horse or just play the CQ? I think you play the CQs now. I don't even think I really like playing the first horse. Although, it's kind of unclear. Maybe another... I don't know. I'd have to think more about what the action density of the remaining cards is. So this is like your last CQ. So this one draws exactly the cards you have left in deck. It's pretty convenient, isn't it? Because you don't need to draw those 2 victory cards. So I would just play CQ here. Yep. And then I think what we're doing here as Titandrake is some combination of building and duchies. Getting pretty hungry. Yeah, as far as playing Mask, I don't really think you're getting much out of playing the Mask, so I think I'd rather just play an extra squirrel, and then, you know, the more squirrels you play, the ever more minuscule your probability of dudding becomes. I mean, yeah, I guess you could play Mask and like pass a horse. Although, yeah, I mean, Pop's deck is a lot less reliable than Titandrake's is, so the horse might help them a bit more. That said, I mean, with all these squirrels Pop played, it's very unlikely that. Oh, interesting. I haven't counted it out. So this is 15, 19, 22. Wait. I'm counting that Titandrake is only at 23, even with a copper pass. 9, 10. Yeah. Yeah, that's how I'm counting it. 4 golds. That seems, yeah. I don't like that. So if you just play the 2 paddocks, you squirrel one of these horses, you duration the barge, and then you also play like 2 squirrels. Or 1 squirrel? Yeah, 1 squirrel. Yeah, but buying some duchies makes sense. Some number of duchies and then building to at least having 22 or 24 makes sense. So you could do something like gold and 2 duchies. I think gold and 2 duchies makes sense. There's a question of like, okay, is that just winning, or can Pop build and can Pop take some duchies in a way that they could win even against a triple from Titandrake? Wait. Oh, interesting. So playing the barge now. So really wants that 4th buy. I don't know about that. I mean, the 4th buy is useful, but I don't know. I think I would have preferred just having the duration barge. Yeah, so like what, you get another candlestick maker out of that? Well, I don't know, with that many horses and yeah, I don't know. I mean, the thing is, I feel like you're pretty winning even without the candlestick maker, right? Like, even without the candlestick maker, you definitely can triple. And if you can triple, then I feel like the most realistic way that Titandrake duds is by, or the most realistic way that Titandrake loses is by dudding. And the duration barge definitely does a lot to make sure that doesn't happen. I think Pop's position is just hopeless at this point, given that Titandrake does not dud, though. Because, I mean, against triple, you would need to set yourself up to take province, 6 duchies, and 2 estates. Or 1 estate if you're okay with a tie. Do you pass a copper? Yeah, I think so. I mean, you can definitely still triple, even passing a copper. Yeah, this game has been really slow. Like, how are we? Yeah, it's like 2.5 hours already. Hopefully the future ones will be a bit faster than this. Not so clear what you do as Pop. Has, I guess, 25 here. If you take triple, then you're forcing Titandrake to take province double duchy to win. That's not so difficult, although you're probably losing to a full turn anyway. So maybe you just take triple anyway? Not so clear. playing Mask. I don't really feel like playing the Mask accomplishes very much. I mean, what are you hoping to accomplish with that? Well, I mean, I would just pass. I would just pass a copper as Titandrake. I mean, I don't know. If you're reasoning that, like, okay, maybe Titandrake's going to do something stupid and pass a state, then, I mean, okay. But 26. I don't know. Oh, wait, played the barge this turn? What? That's weird. Whatever. I mean, I don't think. I was just going to buy 5 duchies. Interesting. Okay. So now after spending all of those coffers, Pop cannot buy triple province next turn, right? They have 20 money worth of treasures, and they have 2 candlestick makers, so they're at 22. Oh yeah, this is a pretty disastrous hand too. I feel like this hand is actually like the perfect encapsulation of how Pop has played this game. So, as Titandrake, obviously you don't know that Pop has a full-on dud. But you do know that Pop does not have enough money in deck to actually buy triple province. So I think I'm looking at province, duchy, and then some building potentially. Here definitely play paddock and then dungeon. So you get to top deck 2 horses, which is really nice. Okay, and then you play your 3 candlestick makers and then 2. We just played a horse to draw 2 horses for some reason. Not sure why that happened. So 2 squirrels now. Yeah, playing, like, losing a horse to get 2 horses off the top of your deck is, I mean, that's just a clear mistake, right? Oh wait, can you? Oh, you're 1 horse. You're 1 money short of triple province duchy. And wait, triple province duchy would be totally winning, right? Wait, yeah. So if you would have played the mask, I think playing the mask was like really, really good and passing a horse because if you could triple province and duchy, you literally have half of the point. Or no, you're 1 point short of half VP if you do that. And at least like seeing Pop's hand right now, there's nothing that really could have plausibly been passed other than copper. And I mean, in Pop's deck in general, there aren't that many good passes that are not copper. So I think I like that idea of playing the mask. Given where Titandrake's at right now, horse, Crabcat. You would just pass a horse. Because yeah, I mean, if you get to triple, yeah, I would totally pass a horse. What's wrong with that? Yeah, because if you get triple province and duchy, you just win. Like there's no coming back from 40 points. Triple and estate. So that'd put you at 38, and then Pop would need. How much Pop would need? Province, duchy, 2 estates is what Pop would need. Pop has 2 candlesticks and 2 barges in deck, so it does have the buys for that. Oh, 2 estates. Yeah. Yeah, so triple and 2 estates. Yeah, that definitely seems winning to me. I mean, I also think that, like, you could do Province, Duchy, and some good cards, but, yeah, I don't... I think either of those lines are very, very winning. It's not so clear to me which one is, you know, better, but whatever. Yeah, I mean, even if you get to half VP, there is like the nightmare scenario where your entire hand is victory cards and they play Mask, but with Way of the Squirrel, that seems very unlikely. Okay, yeah, it looks like they do go for the triple province, double estate line. It is good to kind of be familiar with some of those numbers for half VP. So, in a game of Dominion with no alt VP, 43 is half of the VP if nobody trashes estates, and 40 VP is half VP if both players trash all of their estates. Yeah, it does look very clear to me at this point that Titandrake's going to win. I mean, if Titandrake buys 2 estates, then they have a majority of points, and it seems very difficult. Like, I mean, is there any sequence of any possible hand Titandrake could draw that would fail to hit double estate? I guess there probably is, right? Yeah, I don't know how long JNails is going to be tied up for. Yeah, this game took a really long time. I mean, it does seem like the kind of board that plausibly could take a long time just because of, you know, having to count out how much money your opponent has and whatnot. So yeah, Titandrake hits 8 here and wins. Alright, so this game is over. Alright, can we not play all of these horses? Just click end actions and click province. That's the proper way of doing it. Alright, gotta make sure we have all those squirrels so we don't dud on the turn after we win. Okay, but that game is over. Yeah, I think the main thing that Titandrake did right there was just, like, buying paddocks. Although, yeah, there were a lot of things there that could have been played differently. I do think I like the idea of taking Cursed Village as the first 5. But, um, interesting. So this board, I feel like it's kind of some combination of Hamlets, Conspirators, and Minions. And of course some Spirits in terms of the deck you're eventually building to. So Pop has the 2/5, so Hamlet's pretty obvious for the 2. The scheme take. This doesn't seem like that complicated of a board. At least to me. Well, I mean, it's a lot of clicks, but it's not. Well, okay, yeah, lots of decisions in terms of like what the client considers a decision, not in terms of like things that you actually have to think about. So yeah, obviously Pop is going to open Hamlet. I really don't know why they haven't already clicked on it. And then what do you open on the 5? I think I probably just take XO anyway. Yeah, DSH likes that. I mean, you could consider something like Relic, but I think I like taking just the XO, even on the 5. For sure take XO here as Titandrake. I don't think that's really a question. Not so clear between Silver and Hamlet on the 3/4. Steph wants a Silver. Okay. Yeah. I mean, getting to hit like 4 and 5 is definitely nice. Although the Hamlet gives you a slightly better chance of seeing your XO and colliding it with an estate. Also, Hamlet in general has, 2 cross cantrips are definitely nice with Wisps. I definitely don't think there's anything wrong with 1 Silver. I think I like the Silver open for Titandrake. And I think I'm definitely convinced of taking XO for Pop. You probably just skip Relic on this board. In general, I mean, having a treasures in your deck is anti-synergistic if you're going to be playing with minions. Also, minion maybe makes the Relic attack not quite as bad. As far as like taking some time before buying the Hamlet so they don't know you have 2/5, I really don't. I mean, I don't really see what advantage you get out of them not knowing you had 2/5. Like, I mean, in what universe does Titandrake profitably change his open because of knowing that Pop had a 2/5? Like, yeah. Like, even if you do take a 5, I don't see why that would change what Titandrake is opening. I mean, in general, I usually just, like, click on my open if I'm, like, sure of what I'm opening. Although, some people like to kind of analyze the board in general some more. Even if they kind of already know they're open. Okay, so Titandrake does take the Silver. Okay, Conspirator. I was thinking about 2 Hamlets there. And it does seem kind of nice with... You like the Conspirator, okay. I mean, it helps you hit price points. You don't have any other terminals in the deck, so... It's not like it's really doing a lot of damage in terms of being terminal. Okay, that makes sense. Titandrake gets a minion on 5. That seems good. Oh, Titandrake's Exo misses, which is pretty terrible. He's going to get the Conspirator as well. Oh. Yeah, I mean, maybe if Titan would have opened Hamlet, maybe the Exo wouldn't have bottom decked. But yeah, I still don't. I think I still like the silver. What about the minion? Do people not like taking minion on 5? Oh, no. Steph is saying that, yeah, because Titan opened silver, then, yeah. Okay, oh, buys a Hamlet on 4. That's a little surprising to me. I kind of feel like Secret Passage is better than another Hamlet. Could consider Second Exorcist, but maybe it's not super necessary. So I definitely imagine that we are playing the minion for coins, so we can still play the Exorcist. Yeah, I mean, at this point, you're probably not getting it. You're probably never getting... yeah, I don't like that discarding for buy. Because, yeah, I mean, if this happens now, you can't get a Border Village. And I think Border Village is definitely better than nothing. Largely because it activates your Conspirators. I mean, there's some argument that, like, oh, it gets in the way of Wisps, but I think activating the Conspirators is more than enough justification for wanting Border Village over nothing. Got to imagine we're spinning here as pop. Maybe just another Conspirator for Titandrake. Oh, it takes Passage, okay. Not really sure what Titandrake's deck composition is, so maybe couldn't really handle another Conspirator. I mean, of course, on this specific draw, this would be a lot worse if this Passage were a Conspirator. Okay, here I think minion Hamlet seems pretty clear. I think Hamlet is definitely a better card for your deck than Border Village. Yeah, that is a nice idea. You can, yeah, you bottom deck the Exo, and that way you don't have to kind of choose between playing on with minion and not getting to play your Exo. So you probably want to put a state back somewhere, and then goes for the bottom. It's not really clear. I mean, you could have even put the estate directly on top in hopes of the minion attack. Although I guess if you do that, you really want to do it like second from the top or something, so that way Titandrake doesn't actually know, or Pop doesn't actually know, and so they won't be, slightly more reluctant to play the minion attack, since the log only tells you if it's the top or the bottom or somewhere in the middle. Log doesn't tell you where in the middle it would be. Yeah, Titandrake for sure looks very far behind. Probably not gonna be doing any more spinning with minion. I think I'm very happy to draw another card with Hamlet to trigger that shuffle, because then when Titandrake discards all those bad cards, they're not gonna, they're not gonna get shuffled back in. I guess there is some... Whoa. What? Why? I wanted to trash that estate with Exorcist. That seems really strange. Yeah, I don't know why you would do that. Yeah, you don't know that. So I guess, yeah, Titandrake's only like 4/7 to actually have the minion. This all looks kind of strange to me. Are you triggering here or no? Yeah, I really wanted to trash that estate into a Wisp. That looked really nice. That said, I mean, if you do the line I was suggesting, then you are top decking 4 bad cards, in which case, if Titandrake bottom decks the minion, then you're like pretty likely to just dud. Oh, I guess, yeah, like here, Titandrake could... Whoa, Relic over minion? That seems really bad. Yeah, I mean, especially like if you do the line that I was suggesting, then if Titandrake tracks properly, then they will know that you have all those bad cards in deck, on top of your deck, and in which case they're just not going to attack you. So I don't know. I don't think the line I was suggesting was very good then, but I'm also not super convinced by what Pop did. Yeah, I mean, Titandrake seems completely a 1, or Pop seems completely a 1, especially given Titandrake has just a complete dud on top of deck, or in their hand right now. This is not a complete dud. Well, I guess, yeah, in the sense that this is pretty much... Well, yeah, you get the trash. I mean, I guess this isn't even like that much below what's expected in terms of how much Titandrake's deck accomplishes. Like, buying a Hamlet and trashing a Copper isn't even that much worse than like an average turn, since their deck is just so bad. Conspirator Hamlet there, I mean, seems fine. Silver? What? Okay. I mean, it's not like buying something else was giving Titandrake a substantially better chance of winning, but that silver certainly looks pretty silly. Silver is cursed, GG. Yeah, that seems about right. I mean, I guess the advantage of Silver over Curse is that when you trash it with Exorcist, you can get an Imp. Like, that's something. But... yeah, I don't really know what kind of deck Titandrake is even imagining playing. But, I mean, I don't even really feel like losing this game is actually necessarily Titandrake's fault, because I feel like he was kind of already lost before he started buying all the silly things. Yeah, 3 minions. Yeah, okay, this is super, super over. So, I mean, Conspirator is kind of better than, like, an activated Conspirator is obviously better than a minion that you play for money. So, yeah, the advantage of minion is that your deck is more consistent, and especially when you're so far ahead, I think that makes a lot of sense. It's definitely resign time for Titandrake. Oh, I guess that was probably a question of their time zone. But it is all, whatever time it is where they live, it is also resign time. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe Titandrake is hoping that like Pop will just like do something, get overconfident, and then leave some silly pile out. 3. So it's like 4 where I am. So I guess yeah, if Titandrake is in Pacific time, then it would be like 2 for them. Yeah, I really don't see why you wouldn't resign. Four? Oh, you mean? Well, I'm in U.S. Central Time, DSH. Oh, I don't I don't know if Ottawa is in the same time zone as me. I'm not really sure. Okay, so you could do like province, border village, minion, or something. I don't know. Well, I'm not Canadian, DSH, if that's the implication. Yeah, I feel like all the Canadians probably live on either. I guess what is either our Pacific time or Eastern time. The hockey? Wait, what? What hockey thing? Nine. Oh, is that? Is that like a? Let's see. Oh, okay. Oh, I guess that was. Oh, that's okay. Wayne Gretzky's jersey number. Okay, interesting. Um. mhm. But yeah, I don't really know what more there is to say about this. I mean, I think Pop is just one, so maybe it's I don't know. I haven't really been paying super close attention for a while now. Um, yeah, Titandrake is up in points, but I mean their deck is a lot worse. So wait, last turn. Wait, so last turn Pop took nothing over Border Village. That's a little surprising. I don't really see. I mean, the disadvantage is that wisps don't draw border villages, but province in, yeah, that seems plausible. What all's in your discard that's good? Oh, you just want the. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like something like a conspirator seems better, but I mean, there's a lot of ways to win as Pop. Passage before Wisp does seem a little more logical, although it's not like strictly better. Because like if your Wisp draws anyway, and then you can passage, then you can get more search space or something. How many minions does Titandrake have? Like 1? Yeah, it looks like one. Yeah, that makes sense. Like, you can make sure your province is top decked given that you're almost certain to get minion attacked. So, I guess in that context, the secret passage is mostly just like a lab. I wonder if I don't think Pop can hit 24 here, right? Maybe they can. I don't know. I could be convinced that triple is better. I mean, I'm assuming Steph meant triple province. I mean, that's obviously better because it wins instantly. I mean, I guess it's also possible that DSH also meant province and was just being sarcastic. Okay, okay, yeah, that was a joke. So, how likely are you to hit triple if you... Yeah, I mean, you could consider discarding there, but I feel like you're so far ahead that you don't really want to take the chance there. Double province duchy. And Titandrake would need province duchy to tie. I mean, I feel like there's some universe in which Titandrake's deck hits 13, right? I mean, yeah, is Titandrake's deck really bad enough that like there's no conceivable way it hits 13? Yeah. So province double duchy. I mean, you could do something like province double border village for duchy, Hamlet maybe. Could be okay. Do you need two duchies though? Not really. Maybe the second duchy seems kind of pointless, I guess. Province, duchy. After all. Oh, interesting. Okay. Huh. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it does seem a little risky to me. I mean, I'm not totally sure, but it just seems kind of hard. Well, I don't know. Sure, sure. Um, Although, if you dud, I don't think you really want to have bought province, duchy if you dud, right? Because that gives more Titandrake more time to come back in points. Whereas if you leave like two provinces, then they have to hit 8 twice. Okay. So, pop up 3-2 now. So, match point for Pop. This next one's going to be Titandrake start, so we'll see if we get to a game 7 or if Pop's able to close the match out. Sounded, I think Sycomatic was giving reports on the other match that sounded like that one was a relatively quick 4-0. So, yeah, so the winner of this is going to face Marcus in the quarterfinals. This board, huh? Lost Art's really not looking too exciting here. Dungeon and Menagerie have some synergy. Trashing is really weak though. IGG could be relevant. Could open. Oh, I wonder. What if you like buy a bunch of young witches and then. Oh. Huh. If you buy a bunch of young witches, Lost Arts them, and then you can get Menagerie activation off of that. There's also like some potential for rushing Silk Roads with, like, what? Yeah, what if you? Yeah, you could like do Lost Arts on Workshop and then rush Silk Roads. Well, I don't see. I mean, yeah, what is Duplicate doing that Workshop isn't? Yeah, building a good deck with Menagerie draw could also be plausible, but I mean, you do have Sacrifice, so it's not like you have no thinning. Is there anything missing? Well, you don't have plus buy, although you do have extra gains. I mean, the only way to like multi-province is like Grave Robber. Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. Grave Robber, in general, is like pretty weak. I think. I kind of think I like the Silk Road deck. There are a lot of options here, though. Titandrake going for Sacrifice, which kind of suggests going for the kind of the deck that Steph wants of just kind of building big and drawing with like Lost Cities and Menageries, and then maybe building to Grave Robber payload. I mean, I think the early 6 you would kind of get with Night Watchman. I mean, you could even, like on 4-3, you could even open like Silver Watchman and then just buy Lost Arts turn 3. Which is like kind of sad because you have to wait a while to get workshops in your deck, but you do get the guaranteed Lost Arts, which is nice. Not super clear to me how that deck should open. I kind of think I'd open like Workshop Silver, and that way you can potentially, like, you know, with the Silver in deck, you can potentially hit 6, possibly with the assistance of the Night Watchman. So yeah, I think it would be probably a Silver Workshop open for the Rush deck, and then maybe like a Sacrifice Dungeon open for the good deck. I might open Menagerie. There is Titandrake seeing Pop's Young Witch. Gets 10 curses. Well, with the Young Witch stuff. Yeah, that's true. You could potentially throw some Dungeon Menagerie stuff into the Rush deck, but that might be pretty difficult to justify over Silk Roads. Probably second dungeon here. Steph wants a Menagerie. Okay. Titandrake choosing to just get rid of an estate instead. I don't think I like that as much. Seems like pretty easy lost city here. Yeah, I guess the menagerie does make a lot of sense given the young witch, right? Although, how many cards? I guess you only had like a search space of 3 to find the Bane. This is like 30%. Not terrible. So Oppo already thinking that Titandrake's going to be winning this game. Yeah, he did have the dungeon, so yeah, I think I'm convinced by taking Menagerie there. Although, the dungeon also seems reasonable still. I definitely don't like the line Titandrake took of not buying anything. These curses are definitely pretty annoying. Workshop now, okay. Duplicate would not be on my radar there. I mean, I am a pretty big duplicate hater, so I don't know. Probably sacrifice now for pop. I could definitely imagine adding a. I think I'd want to add a young witch pretty soon for Titandrake. Oh, Pop's just going for eggs. Oh, well, that seems bad. So menagerie, and then either another menagerie or a dungeon. Okay. Wait, why does Pop... So Pop bought a workshop. So workshop suggests not egg money. But... yeah, that is kind of a big limitation to egg on this board, is that, Young Witch is giving out some curses, and so you're not really going to have nearly as much pile pressure. Pop goes for Lost Arts on Young Witch there, huh? Interesting. I mean, you could do that and then get, like, Mass Young Witch. And, seems okay. Two menageries here. I mean, you can get any 2 4s you want. 2 menageries does seem reasonable, although I think I kind of would rather have like a menagerie and a young witch. Yeah. Yeah, I agree with Steph there. And then immediately Titandrake does trash the curse. It's not even all that clear to me that Curse is a worse card in your deck than Copper is, because you have more Coppers, so Copper is doing more to prevent your menageries from activating. Well, I mean, you are losing hand size, but the sifting makes it easier to activate menageries, so menageries can give you the hand size back and more. And of course, if you spam Young Witch, sooner or later your opponent's going to take a whole lot of curses. Okay, so it gets to activation here. Okay, goes dungeon first there. I think that makes sense given the potential to draw the other menagerie. Titandrake has both the menageries, right? I'm not making that up. Yeah, Titandrake has both the menageries. I kind of want a Young Witch as Titandrake eventually, just so that. I mean, Pop has no menageries in deck, so yeah, getting the Young Witch does make some sense for me. To me. Young Witch Menagerie seems very reasonable there. Presumably discard. Oh, I would have discarded 2 coppers there. Well, although if the menagerie draws a copper, then you're really sad. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, what Titandrake did was probably better than that. Actually, yeah, this is also really nice because you can. Yeah, because if you trigger, you can top deck a menagerie, which is great. I mean, unless you're unlucky and then you draw it right off the top. Um, yeah, it would have made more sense to make the decision of which one you're going to play and then seed that one on top instead of seeding some junk card. It's kind of nice because it's a unique, and so your menagerie is more likely to activate. Which of these terminals are we playing? Chooses the workshop, and then presumably Lost City. Yeah. This is a nice hand. Oh, interesting. So Pop's actually going for Silk Roads, huh? Just kind of gets there in a circuitous kind of way. Another menagerie activated. Okay. Probably Young Witch now. I'd probably even discard. I kind of wanted to discard at least one of those menageries there. Maybe even both of them. That way you can, if you seed one on top of your deck, then can be sure you're going to block the Young Witches. So what do we sacrifice here? Curse. I mean, yeah, copper for Lost Arts Menagerie. It's okay. I mean, there's honestly some argument you should sack copper even if you're not going to Lost Arts Menagerie, just because coppers are. Like, killing a copper is better for your deck in terms of menagerie activation. Yeah, I've got to imagine Titandrake is like completely won here. How did other people feel about the dungeon versus menagerie decision in the opening for Titandrake. Like, after you see your opponent's Young Witch, do you still open dungeon, or do you even open menagerie in response to the Young Witch? Steph still likes dungeon. Okay. I definitely want to discard copper here. Yeah. Playing that Lost City before dungeon seemed a little questionable to me. Seemed like you were giving up on some potential for menagerie activation. Oh yeah, that's the fact. That's a fair point. You could sacrifice some duplicate of something. I still feel like Dungeon was doing more for you in that capacity. Like, sacrifice only gets rid of one card, and Dungeon can get rid of two. Although, if you do Lost City first, you get more information as far as what to discard. So, I don't know. It's not entirely clear. You do have to make sure not to lower piles too much as Titandrake. Curses and Silk Roads are both going to run, but you kind of have to make sure that you don't give another pile. So buys gold, doesn't call duplicate, huh? Yeah, that seems real bad. I think Grave Robber Payload does make more sense, given you're going with Menagerie draw. I mean, maybe one goal is fine. One gold is fine. Yeah, two more Lost Cities and then three Grave Robbers. That makes a lot of sense. It doesn't feel like you quite have the actions or the draw to justify, like, taking two Grave Robbers that turn. So yeah, definitely this Menagerie draw definitely working out really well. So, I mean, I think I still want two Lost Cities this turn, and then maybe like another Menagerie or something to potentially seed on top. Although, I don't really feel like, if you buy gold, I don't think you're going to buy Lost Cities afterwards. You could Lost Art something. I mean, Menagerie is already a lot of draw. Wait, what? Why did we... Isn't this a terrible shuffle? Or not like... Whoa, Province? Oh, this is... Yeah, it does look like Titandrake is building only to single Province. Yeah. That seems not good. I mean, it certainly seems a lot worse than... Okay, yeah, this is completely deserved. I mean, I certainly think that building to single is worse than, doing the mass Grave Robber Lost City thing. But I don't know if it's bad enough to actually lose to what Pops is doing. That's less clear to me. Yeah. lucky to hit 7 so that he doesn't have to buy a province. Um, yeah, I don't know. Um, I'm really tired. Perhaps unsurprisingly, given how late it is. If this match wouldn't have gone so long, I probably wouldn't be so tired by the end of it. I feel like a second sacrifice at some point could have been good for Titandrake. I mean, these menageries. Oh, yeah, yeah, Steph mentions that. Um, I mean, I feel like the time for second sacrifice might have been a while ago, but I could still see it being good even now. Um, yeah. Hmm. I guess from Pop's position, you're thinking about emptying Silk Roads, and then I guess Estates is the third pile you'd be going for. Could go for Menageries too, but that's probably just not going to score you enough points. Um, hmm. Yeah, I don't know. Seeing how this game played out, I think I'm pretty convinced by playing the big Menagerie draw deck rather than just trying to rush Silk Roads. I mean, I don't really know. I don't really have a good intuition for how fast the Workshop Silk Road Lost Arts deck is. Whoa, what? Uh, Maybe this is fine. Taking the Silk Roads is a little confusing to me. Might be fine. I just feel like you're kind of helping Pop's win condition. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, I feel like you're. Like, Titandrake is favored in the long game. Um, yeah, I feel like people do in general, like, have the reasoning of, like, oh, I have to contest certain things, where, like, I feel like that's actually not super common. Like, I was playing this, like, game today with wild, like a board where a wild hunt was good, right? And my opponent like said something of like, "Oh, I probably have to contest this because like if I don't, you're just gonna get like a bunch of free points." And it's like I saw that and I was kind of like, "Well, yes and no." It's like, "Well, yes, you should definitely be buying wild hunts on this board, but like it's not like you're not buying them because I'm buying them. You're just buying them because they're good, right?" So, I don't know. I feel like there's also sometimes like games where like there's something that's like clearly good and both players like know that it's good but don't want it to be good and then like neither of them go for it. Um just like on this like tit for tat basis, which is like kind of weird. Um I mean, yeah, I feel like that is generally true. Although, I feel like there are some exceptions. Like, I feel like sometimes with, like, Duke strategies, for example, um, yeah, sometimes with Duke, like, I feel like contesting duchies can make some sense. Uh, Titandrake has no way of getting to 3 estates, do they? Oh, there's a duplicate on the mat. Okay, yeah, so Titandrake wins. And we're going to game 7. Okay. So yeah, that was a weird game. Definitely a lot of different directions you could plausibly go on that board. I think Titandrake kind of early on playing pretty well, getting deck control with the menageries, but I don't know. Going into the single province thing definitely seemed suboptimal. And yeah, contesting the Silk Roads too also didn't seem good at all. Um, yeah. So Titandrake's saying it's their first game 7 in the tournament. I've had one game 7 so far. And that was actually in like pretty early, I think round at 128. It's kind of ironic that yeah, like I went to game 7, pretty early on, and then against a lot of the stronger opponents, um, I ended up winning before that. I don't even think, have I even had any game 6s other than, I don't think so. Right, because my first one was 4-0, and then the one that was 4-3, and then I think 2-4-1s. And maybe my match with Appa went to game 6. I don't know, whatever. Stronger opponents give. Yeah, like, I don't know, maybe people don't. People like mentally give up too early or something. I don't know. I mean, I feel like any explanation you give for that is just going to be, a Texas sharpshooter kind of situation. Okay, so what's going on here? Lackeys is a good card, Inventor's a good card. Oh man, turn 1 Mastermind. Yeah, that's kind of what I was saying. Turn 1 Mastermind seems a little dicey. I don't think I like it. I feel like the risk of it just doing nothing is a bit too great for me. It's got to be Lackeys, right? Yeah. So okay, you're gonna play with like Lackeys and Inventors, um, and hopefully some Masterminds. Pop goes for Inventor Scrap, which is probably fine. Um, I mean, this might look great. It depends on Titandrake's next turn. Uh, Drawing Inventor next turn would definitely be great. Um, oh, Night Watchman. Oh, okay, yeah, that's a good line. I wasn't thinking about that. But yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Don't want to risk anything. Just, yeah, make sure you get the Inventor. And then, yeah. I don't know that that's game over. I mean, you get to add a lot of good cards to your deck, but yeah. I mean, I definitely prefer Titandrake's position. Hmm. Talisman could potentially become relevant here. Of course, with Inventor, you could like gain Masterminds with Talisman, which could be kind of nice. Yeah. Sif, for some reason, has the idea that Talisman is a good card in general. Yeah. I mean, Talisman's only really impressive if you have multiple buys, which Scrap could give you, although it's not like the most reliable plus buy. Especially if you're doing things like masterminding inventors, then that makes Scrap plus buy a lot more awkward. Yeah, I don't think I agree with all these GGs in the chat. Keep Inventor Copper. Okay, so Steph, I guess, not wanting to trigger this shuffle. I think that makes some sense. I mean, spending the lackeys obviously costs a villager. But more importantly, it triggers a shuffle that doesn't have this inventor or the mastermind, which probably isn't so great. You could take something like inventor and 2 masterminds, and then a watchman maybe. Seems a little late for Scrap. Scrap, mastermind, watchman. Yeah, that seems okay. I mean, I'm a little skeptical of Scrap at this point, but could be okay. Don't like playing the lackeys, but drawing the Night Watchman was very good for Titandrake. Obviously, this Night Watchman is accomplishing quite a lot here. Yeah, like here you're not even playing the Scrap, right? Yeah, just gonna play the Masterminds, buy another lackeys. Hopefully draw something good next turn. Would be kind of nice to get a Watchman down, but I don't think there's really any reasonable way of getting there. I mean, you could like scrap a Mastermind if you really wanted to, but that doesn't seem worth. So what's Pop up to here? They opened Inventor Scrap, and then they got to trash an estate, buy lackeys, got a bunch of inventors. Okay. I guess now they're just looking to add some masterminds. Titandrake has 3 masterminds to none, so that's a pretty big advantage, I'd think. Just takes card action there, sure. Okay. Probably play the lackeys, even though it means spending all your villagers. I kind of like getting 2 masterminds. So, yeah, like here you can get maybe Watchmen and 2 masterminds. I mean, these cards are like all junk, right? There's like 1 estate, 3 coppers, and what else? Not sure what that last card is, other than 3 coppers and estate. Yep, goes for the Watchman. I guess we'll find out what the last card is. Another Mastermind makes a lot of sense. Okay, it was an Inventor. So yeah, like this being your next turn definitely didn't look like something that you wanted. Probably just invent Inventor here and then take a Mastermind. Okay, so Titandrake. Gonna Mastermind the Mastermind and then have a really strong turn after that. It's a Mastermind. Yeah, Mastermind horses could be nice. I mean, it's just the awkward thing about Scrap is that if you Mastermind an Inventor, then, okay, all of a sudden your Scrap doesn't do anything. Although, yeah, I mean, Masterminding horses is really nice, but I think you can live with just Masterminding, like, lackeys as your draw. This is a little sad that Titandrake played 2 Masterminds and then only got to Mastermind one thing. I'm not sure what's all's down there, so I don't know if you need to buy a Watchman here or if you just buy another Lackeys. Pop's gonna get... Oh wait, Pop doesn't have any Masterminds coming in, what am I saying? Oh yeah, Pop's Masterminds are all down there, that does suck. Just buys lackeys, makes sense. Okay. So this could just be 2 more Inventors for Pop. I mean, honestly, I'm not so worried about... Well, I guess there's some concern that if Titandrake, like, piles the lackeys, then you're in a pretty dicey spot as Pop. So maybe you need to take some lackeys this turn. Yeah, because, like, if you're only getting 2 villagers for the rest of the game, then... 6 Inventors. Wonder how possible that is. Be a little bit, I don't know. Oh, this isn't 2 Masterminds, this is 3 Masterminds. Oh yeah, that's fair. Steph talking about yo-yoing the Inventors. Or the lackeys through the trash to get more mileage out of the on-gain. I don't think that's actually very good, but it does mean that villagers aren't, like, technically a finite resource. Yeah, you could do that, pile Inventors. I kind of think I want more Masterminds as Titandrake, though. Guess Pop thinking about this turn. Not really super clear what you do. Scrapping the Inventor, that surprises me. Yeah, that seems really bad. I mean, I guess maybe you just really want to play a Mastermind this turn? Okay, well... does manage to draw the Mastermind. And then I guess you rebuy the Inventor? Okay. Sure. So presumably you do the Inventor first, so you get to put these cards into the shuffle. Maybe, like, could be Inventor 2 Masterminds. That's the thing that comes first to mind. I don't know what else. Yeah, I think at this point I'm pretty convinced that Talisman isn't relevant here. It just seems really hard to justify taking it over Inventor, especially when Inventor's a card that you can Mastermind and Talisman isn't.
Do you mastermind the mastermind here or the lackeys? Chooses the lackeys, okay. Yeah, that isn't so clear to me. Yeah, I mean, the scrap, obviously, at this point isn't so impressive. I feel like I'd just play the lackeys here. Not really seeing why you wouldn't play lackeys. I mean, it costs a villager, but villagers are cheap. I don't think... I mean, I think you're probably aiming to win next turn, so I don't think more masterminds is really something that you want. Another lackeys. If you seed the lackeys, you make sure you have a draw card on top. Yeah, you could take some number of safety provinces here, which looks like it's what Titandrake is going for. You could even take another one. Seems fine. I mean, I think Titandrake's position is pretty strong regardless. Pop only has one mastermind. So even if you bought Inventor here, for example, yeah, I mean it's not. It's basically safety against your own paranoia. I mean, Pop only has one mastermind down, so yeah, I mean, Titandrake probably could have taken 2 Inventors instead of those 2 provinces and still been totally fine. Maybe that's not true. If you took 2 Inventors, then what? Pop invents, Inventor, 2 Masterminds. Yeah. Yeah, Mastermind does make a lot of sense. As Pop, you need to win next turn if you're going to win at all, so having a tripled Mastermind does make your next turn a lot more threatening. I've got to imagine, though, that Titandrake is winning fairly easily on their turn. I think. Maybe not. Maybe the provinces didn't make a whole lot of sense. Given that, yeah, I mean, if Titandrake had taken, 2 Inventors or even Inventor province over the 2 provinces, then I think it would look a lot easier for them to win here. Maybe Inventor province was the play. In retrospect, do people like the Mastermind open? It looked pretty spicy to me at first, but it definitely worked out for Titandrake. Yeah, certainly if what did happen in the game happens, then the Mastermind does look good. Okay. Yeah, I mean, certainly the kind of high roll that happened here of hitting 4 on turn 3 and then hitting 3 on turn 4. I mean, you only have 7 money in deck. That's super unlikely, right? Yeah, I mean, there's also some draws where, I don't know, you see the lackeys and the Mastermind on turn 3. That would be horrible. I mean, really, in general, it just doesn't seem... it seems fairly likely that your Mastermind's just not going to do anything. So, maybe just buying... I mean, I guess the alternative would be to just take Inventor. Or maybe just take Scrap, I don't know. Yeah, either Scrap or Inventor would be the alternative. So yeah, Pop choosing to mastermind the Mastermind, which makes a lot of sense. Do you play this lackeys. Pop chooses to do so. Could just buy something irrelevant like a lurker. So how many inventors does Titandrake have in their deck? Man, you should see how tired I am with these searches. I first tried searching for games of Titandrake in the chat, and surprisingly enough, that didn't return any matches. 1, 2, 3. Oh, so Titandrake only has 3 inventors. So if you mastermind one of the inventors, and then what, you play 2 more, that's like 5 gains. Yeah, I don't think it's even really possible for Titandrake to win. Draws 8 cards. Well, okay, so you mastermind the inventor. That's 3 gains. 2 more inventors is 5 gains. And then you get like your normal buy, which is 6. And then scrap, that's 7. I don't see where the 8th gain is coming from. So double Night Watchman there from Pop. Oh yeah, this is kind of clever. I like it. So yeah, 9 inventor plays. The 5th inventor play is the first one that can gain province. So that could be 5 provinces, and then you buy one. So, oh yeah, so Titandrake, it's do or die for Titandrake. Yeah, if Titandrake doesn't win this turn or like take some insurmountable points lead, then yeah. Yeah, those 2 provinces definitely look really bad at this point. They probably could have even been just 2 inventors. There's no way that Titandrake is winning at this point, right? Yeah, so it looks like Pop just wins now. Yeah, I don't think I was like super against those provinces when Titandrake took them, but yeah, now looking at what happened, they certainly looked really bad. I mean, maybe Titandrake's planning on doing some sort of gain and play here. Do they even have any draw cards down here? I feel like this is just like Copper Estate. Right? Oh no, it's not a, there's not a copper. Oh, it's another mastermind. Okay, well, yeah, I mean, Pop just wins now. I mean, there's nothing Titandrake can do at this point. It's just, yeah, Pop's just gonna play 9 inventors and win. So, yeah, I don't know. I guess the lesson to take away from this kind of end game is, is just not to take points when, like, think about why you're taking points when you take points, instead of just thinking like, oh, the game's close to over, I should score. I feel like I've definitely been guilty of doing that sometimes. Like just buying duchies that are never going to do anything is probably the most common. thing that happens. I also feel like here, like, it seems completely reasonable for Pop to just type, like, win in hand or something. I wouldn't consider that rude at all. Don't green in Megaturn games. I mean, I don't know that I totally agree with that. Like, I can imagine situations on a board like this where you would want to take points. Like if it is actually going to be the difference between your opponent being able to win and not. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It doesn't seem super relevant. Like, I mean, yeah, just because like Pop was also being slow, I don't think that makes it like unreasonable to say win in hand or something. Because you're basically just saving both of you some amount of time, given that whatever Titandrake is thinking about right now is 100% irrelevant. Request resign. That sounds like a great feature with no potential for abuse. Yeah, I mean, I guess if you don't know... I mean, I feel like you kind of do know what Pop's hand is, given the double Watchman. But, okay, gonna take this. It doesn't matter. Alright, so yeah, Pop advances to the quarterfinals, where they will face Marcus. At least assuming they see this, which I'm sure they will. Yeah, pretty easy to calculate that. 4 hours? Has it really been that long? Yikes, it has been. Okay. This was an interesting one. Yeah. Not much sure there's much else to say about that one, but yeah. Thanks to everyone for listening. I don't know if anybody has been here the whole time, but yeah, some nice plays there by Pop in that last one. So yeah, congratulations to pop180 for advancing to the round of 8, and yeah, peace out, everyone.